and start your spring off right. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show.
Check it out. St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
On 104.1 FM.
Let's take it from the top.
KMOX.
What's up, dogs? Chris and Amy Show, KMOX. Glad you're with us today on this beautiful Thursday. I've never seen a Thursday look so nice.
It's a little glum, but it will get windy.
April 2nd, and you've survived April Fools.
Yes.
So did we. I didn't acknowledge it once yesterday. 314-436-7900 is the way to join the show by calling and texting. Voice messages on the Odyssey app. Drop them there if you want to. We love getting your voice messages, actually. And we like when you listen to us on the Odyssey app live or the podcasts later. You get the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, though. And you can listen to Cardinals baseball. They're back in action tomorrow. You can watch the show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
The Cardinals shortstop Mason Wynn is doing okay after he was involved in a single car accident just hours after delivering the game-winning hit yesterday.
Scary. And President Trump, in his address last night, gave a timeline of 2 to 3 weeks left for the military operation in Iran.
We'll see how that goes. And as I mentioned, the Cardinals took the series against the Mets. They've won the first 2 series of the season. They enjoy an off day today before visiting the Tigers tomorrow. They will be in Detroit. It is an afternoon game, by the way, tomorrow. 12:10. We'll get started at 12:10, so an early one tomorrow. And so, yeah, I saw late last night, I was on the old tweet box, and I saw just, you're scrolling, and you see headlines sometimes, maybe don't process the whole thing, or you see a part of it, and you go, wait, what's that? And I saw Mason Wynn involved in a car accident, and I have to tell you, my heart sank like, I think we have a little PTSD here in St. Louis with stuff like that. And that was that I read the entire headline that he was okay. And I felt better about that. But that stuff's scary. And I'm glad he's okay. It was very wet last night on I-64 and apparently spun out a bit and was involved in that single car accident. But that's just one of those things, Amy, that you see it or you think you see a couple of words and they don't look right. And you have a reaction to it. And I had that last night.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so grateful that he is okay. As you mentioned, there have been some tragedies within the Cardinal family when it comes to car accidents. And I will say, I don't know, obviously, I have no idea what part of Highway 40 he was on, but I swear there are certain parts of Highway 40 that are extraordinarily slick.
Yeah.
When it's wet, more so than it should be. And I think it's around Midtown, maybe where the highway is elevated as you're coming up on the Anheuser-Busch Eagle sign. I have come home from hockey games twice when it's not that cold, but the highway is slick and cars have spun out in front of me. I think it's like when there's oil on the highway and you might just hit a random spot. So really glad that he's okay. Yeah,
that could have been really, really bad. It's a good thing. We don't know if whatever happened to him, they said nothing serious, obviously. Yeah. I'm guessing that he will be back in the lineup tomorrow. Haven't heard anything about that, but I'm so happy that it did not end up being something much worse because it does. We're talking about the Josh Hancock thing from years ago, and that was a much different situation, obviously.
But Oscar Tavares was, out of the country, but was also a car accident.
Yeah, just really, I don't know. I saw a car accident, Mason Wynn, and my thoughts went to the worst place possible. That's why you read the entire headline and then read the story, because, you can get a start like that. You guys.
No, and we can move on. I was just going to say, I don't want to be overly sentimental, but it does. Sometimes things like this do make you step back and realize, how precious life is. I was talking to a friend yesterday. I don't know if you remember the terrible avalanche that happened in like the Tahoe
yeah.
area where
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
16 moms, I think it was like 16, but moms, because it was a parents trip. So the moms went one way, the dads went another. They were killed. One of my friends knew one of the moms, and he's like, you just talk to that person. You talked to that person the other day. And then I read the headline and they listed the names and it's just shocking. So anyway, makes you realize how precious life is.
So we did start this off by, talking about the Cardinals a bit, who have won the first 2 series of the season. That's a great start, taking 2 of 3 from Tampa and then from the Mets. Awesome start for them for a season that's probably, I don't know. I guess anything could happen, but nobody's really expecting them to go very far this year. It's a transitional year, and that's okay. It's good to be in that spot. But you, for the first time, Amy Marks Kors and Matt Pajeski, and I guess everybody in Cardinals Nation who wants to watch on TV has had to purchase the Cardinals.TV package or the MLB package with the Cardinals add-on, or, you've got it on your cable system. But if you've purchased on Cardinals TV, we should make it clear that you have a broadcast audio option. And I did not realize this was going to be an option.
No, and I'll just say this. Both Matt and I, as you mentioned, purchased the Cardinals TV. You download the MLB app on your smart TV. And Matt took the economic and committed option, which is to pay $100
for the full
season
instead of the $20 a month.
Yeah, have commitment issues, and I'm paying $20 a month, which will come back to bite me in the end. But Matt told me, like, I had no idea. Matt said, you can listen to the radio broadcast.
That's right.
Yeah, there's an option. You scroll down. I think you just press the down arrow on your remote once, and there's broadcast options or something like that. You can choose the TV call. You can choose the radio call from KMOX. You can also choose the Spanish call from Benji and Polo. So I listened to that for a few minutes. Had no idea what was going on.
Didn't understand the lick. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool.
So what we're telling you is if you have Cardinals TV and you desire to listen to Ricky and Rooney and Claibs, you can do that.
Yeah.
You just press the down arrow on your remote. It will give you it'll say at the bottom, broadcast options or something like that. You click on it and you can either listen to the TV call or you'll see KMOX right there. And it matches up pretty well. I don't think it's perfectly well, maybe like a second off. And maybe, I don't know, it could be yours does match up perfectly, whatever. But I love listening to the radio calls. So you have that option of doing it. And I knew it was an option with the MLB package. I've had that for years. So if you go and watch another game, you can switch to the radio call or the TV call or the opponent's call, whatever you want. I don't know if you can do opponent's call here, right?
I didn't see that option.
I think you can only get the St. Louis call, which is
I only saw
fine.
the 3 that Matt mentioned.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome. That is great. You can watch TV and you can listen to KMOX with our call.
People have done before, where if you're watching on satellite, what would they do? You'd have to pause. It depends on if you use the Odyssey app. I do think satellite is ahead of the Odyssey app. So they would pause the satellite and then play the Odyssey app. If you had a regular radio, then you were just a little bit behind. You had to have the app so that you could pause it. But this is a great option. And I had no idea it existed. I still think going from one streaming app to another is a little tedious.
It's every sport.
Oh my gosh. When I was watching March Madness on YouTube TV, the Blues game on FanDuel Sports Network, but I have YouTube, so I have to have the app. So I'm paying for FanDuel Sports Network. And then the Cardinals game on the MLB app, you can't hit previous channel like you used to. Just hit previous channel, boom, bounce back and forth. You have to go back to the home screen each
That is
time.
so, you know what? You have no idea how convenient the back button or the last button is when you're watching 2 different things.
Yeah.
Then when you're having to watch 2 different things on 2 different apps, that just, because you have to exit out of one app and go back.
It is. Here's the thing. People say it's the first world problem, and it is, and I get it. The thing is, we had the back button. We had it good. We've made it harder on ourselves.
We've made it worse.
So yes, we're complaining in a very spoiled first world way, but it's only because we did this to ourselves. We had it good.
No, we didn't do this to ourselves.
They
did it to us.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, I did want to give let's see. Harambe checked in
Already?
before the show started.
Dude, Harambe, man.
He was like 6 minutes before the show started. Harambe here. It is my birthday Saturday. Whatever you do, please do not give me a shout out for my birthday. Oh,
you know what?
Happy Thursday.
You don't tell us 2 days in advance it's your birthday coming up.
Well, whatever you do not
I bet
shout out Harambe.
But he's going to throw himself a party too. That's
might.
bad form.
Oh, speaking of Harambe, and I know this is all inside baseball, no pun intended, but on opening day, I met Pensacola Jones.
So did I. Pensacola
Yes.
Jones stopped by the broadcast at Cardinals Nation at Ballpark Village.
It was so fun to meet Pensacola Jones.
That's right.
I
can't believe we didn't acknowledge him, but nice to meet you, Pensacola Jones.
Yes.
Harambe, I don't know. I do not want to know what he looks like.
We met Big Al
Never
at
meet your heroes.
Rally House.
We
too.
did. We met Big Al at Rally House in Brentwood.
That's
So,
right.
Good guy.
Anytime we're on remote, we'd love if you would stop by and say hello to us.
Yeah.
Drop off some spam.
Oh, man.
And somebody did drop off low sodium spam
Yeah.
for Pajeski.
Which I appreciate. Keep his little heart young.
Yeah.
And we do have a 314 that says, now that Amy was on TV yesterday, will she remember us little people? And yes, I will.
If I got to
No.
hear you.
No, here's the thing. I am on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. with Chris Kerber, Matrix Midwest, Offside Hockey with Kerbs and Amy. It's going to be, unless the Blues make the playoffs, we're actually wrapping up in a couple of weeks
That's
here.
right. KT is watching us on YouTube and says, wait till I come to town.
Is that a threat?
That sounds like a threat.
Feels a little threatening.
We do not accept threats. I'm the one who does the threats around here. And
Yeah.
if you do not download the Odyssey app to listen to this show, listen to our podcasts or Cardinals baseball when it happens, I will come to your house and there will be a
No.
problem. Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on KMOX. We got a fun show. Scott McFarland, formerly CBS News. He is now with Midas Touch. He will join us at 9:30. We got Matt Pauley talking sports at 10. Major Garrett at 10:30. There's a lot. Oh, we have a Battlehawks offensive lineman
Yeah.
coming on the game
Who
or coming on the
also-
show.
who
Spencer
also-
Rowland.
happens to be a rocket scientist.
He is a literal rocket scientist, and this is after Artemis 2 took off yesterday. That was very, very cool, by the way. Spencer Rowland will be with us at 11:30, and then the Gas House Gang at noon. Bernie Miklasz and me here on KMOX.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for, I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 14th and 16th at Bartolino's Twin Oaks. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Find out if your retirement strategy is truly stress-tested for today's economy. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air. And we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, KMOX weather from the Salika Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
70 degrees, cloudy, breezy, and warmer with a couple of showers, maybe some heavy thunderstorms, especially late in the day, and those could bring hail and damaging winds, so watch out for that. A high of 76 tonight. Warm, could be a thunderstorm in parts of the area, a low of 63.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
A lot of people are getting their air conditioners tuned up and ready to go for the summer, and we're getting a lot of calls of people saying they want a second opinion, to have us come out and requesting us to come out there and take a look at their air conditioners. They've been told that they need a new one, and the repair is quite costly, and it might be best for them to replace the air conditioner and then repair it. If you're in that situation, please give me a call, because there is truly some opportunities here for you that we could save you lots of money, because I'm sure you're going to be shocked. We have the equipment that still works best for you with your budget. It's pretty much the best, is what I would put in my home, is what I would recommend. Give me a call. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Or the online thing, and that is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Yesterday was April 1st.
Yep.
And you all told me that KMOX was off the air yesterday. Like, no bother to come in. They're doing maintenance. They're just going to play like wait music or something. Maybe the wait song that you had. So I didn't show up to work yesterday.
That's why you weren't here.
Call is important
Yeah.
to us. A customer service representative will be with you shortly.
This is what I thought. You guys said KMOX was doing maintenance yesterday. Don't bother coming in. And
For the couple of hours before the Cardinals pregame, yeah, this is what we did.
yes. And so I was at home, and then I turn on the show, and it's you and John Hancock, and I thought, oh, they got me. They got me.
This is like telling you that, the party, we're not having a party, and then you find out that we are.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't want to invite you.
Yeah.
Did any of you, if you're listening to this right now, text or call us at 314-436-7900 or leave us a voice message. In fact, we'd love to get the voice message if you got the Odyssey app. Really easy to use that feature. And we'd like to know if you were taken by an April Fool's thing. I would like to say that I hate April Fools because I see every single post or every single comment through the lens of, this is probably not real. This is probably not accurate. I have to go look somewhere else. For example, there was a post about my football team at Illinois State.
Mm-hmm.
They have a turf field, an artificial turf field. And it was a post about how they've turned it red. Like they're going with a red. And that's not unusual. Is it Eastern Washington, I think? University
Idaho
has
has
a bright red football field. The
Idaho
whole field is red.
Has a blue field.
Yes, that's Boise State.
Boise State, sorry. Yeah.
So I thought, oh gosh, we're doing that really? And then I realized, no, it's not.
Oh.
It's an April Fool's thing.
Did you want it to be red?
I'm curious, but probably no.
So Maplewood High School has a blue track, which is kind of fun because most tracks are that burnt red.
Right, but it's not a huge football field.
It's not a huge football field. I will say there were a couple. It's interesting to see which companies do it well, which companies don't, because I don't know who posted this. I think it was just a St. Louis account that the McDonald's Riverboat was coming back.
I saw that one
That's
too.
not even funny.
Yeah.
That just made people sad.
Yeah,
People
I didn't
said
like that.
it was too early because that one would be something you'd actually want.
Let me correct myself. Let me clarify. I was not taken by the red football field thing. I saw it and I'm like, okay, that's going to be a stupid thing,
Oh, okay.
like a stupid April Fool's joke. And
I fall for it.
well, no, because I'm on the lookout for it. I don't like April Fools. I don't like it. I don't mind. I like pranks.
Nope.
But I hate the April 1st thing.
I hate pranks and April Fools. I don't like even when I was a kid, my dad said I was 5 years old and I would say, I don't like to be joked.
You?
Yeah. I don't like to be pranked. Matt over here, he seems like a real jokester.
Not really. I mean, like Kevin Wheeler is the biggest jokester in the office, and he'll get
his
you with
pranks are goofy, like
fake
they're
turds and fart machines, and those are pretty good though.
It's very 80s.
Yeah,
He would take junk that nobody wants, random junk,
and put it in your bag.
Yes. And I would just keep putting
Yeah.
stuff in my bag.
I had like a banana peel in my coat pocket or something like that. I'm like, what? It was the
Wheeler.
weirdest thing.
So did you fall for any?
Yeah, I
pranks?
I started the day looking at Instagram and I saw a few that I'm like, I know this is not real. Like one of my favorite bars, the Royale on Kings Highway, said they were turning into a boutique car wash with cocktail service. I knew that one was fake right away, but I kind of like that idea actually. One I did actually stop and like thought was real for a second. I'm going to put it on the stream too if you'd like to see it.
Yes.
So as I think I've talked about with you guys, I love going to the movies. I love going to Marcus Theaters. And Marcus Theaters had posted that they are doing phone-friendly screenings where you are welcome to take phone calls, scroll on your phone.
Oh, wow.
Talk as loud as you want, and they encourage full brightness on your phone. So you can just happily use your phone during the movie. And I'm like, what are they doing? This is terrible.
I have to tell you.
Rage baited.
Yeah.
That's very funny,
That's
actually.
hilarious.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one. Phone-friendly screenings is
All
very,
day,
very good.
every day.
Yeah, so there was a couple of years ago, Joya's, my favorite sandwich shop in the city.
Yes.
They're unbelievable. Been going there for years. They did one where they said they were going to open a stand at Wrigley Field. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And they said, we're excited to announce, I don't remember the exact wording, but they said, we're excited to announce we're going to be at Wrigley Field starting this year. And I have a friend who is a Cubs fan who lives in Chicago, and he was passing through St. Louis on his way to Kansas City about a year ago. And that's just where he stopped to get lunch, he and his family. And he told me after the fact, he said, he goes, I don't know what y'all are doing down there with your food, but that place is spectacular.
So good.
And when that post happened, he sent it to me, the Joya's post, because he now follows them. He loves them so much. He showed me the post and he said, you know what? I saw this and I have never been more excited. And then I realized what the date was. Because he was like, oh my God, Joya's is going to be at Wrigley Field every day and I get to go eat it. But it was an April Fool's joke.
And now it would be believable because you have Mizzou Day at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Right? You
and a
have
Mizzou volleyball game.
Mizzou volleyball game. And, things like Caldy's is in Tulane, in Atlanta.
They're a chain. They're
they're
in more states than Missouri.
So you might, to be completely honest, I would 100% believe it if Joya said they were going to Wrigley Field.
Yeah, and I just saw there was some other place, and now I can't remember what it was. Said they were expanding to Nashville. It was maybe it's a bar I know in Illinois, but they said they were expanding to Nashville, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, wow, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
and I don't know. The whole April Fool's thing it's 95% of it sucks.
Oh, I don't like pranks. Have you guys ever been victims of?
I like pranks, not on a day that everybody does pranks.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been victim of the classic, what I think are crude pranks, like the saran wrap on the toilet seat?
No, I have not.
I hate those. That's so sad.
Have you?
No, but this was not April Fool's, but one time someone left the toilet seat open and in the middle of the night. Have you ever fallen into the toilet in the middle of the night?
See, I didn't think this actually happened to anybody.
Yeah.
I thought that
because the opening of the toilet is so much wider when the seat's up.
Don't you check though? Like before you just blindly sit.
I never just go.
Tired and groggy.
No, because I might.
What?
So then, would you just
was
sit
my
on a
house.
toilet without? What if what if the lid's down?
You can see. No, it's again when you're groggy, the lid is up because
Turn
you
a
can
light
see
on.
the water. Well, it's been a while since I've fallen into a toilet, but I'll tell you what, it's unpleasant.
That's on you, pal.
That is on the person that left the toilet seat
Why
up.
is
It's
why is
rude.
it on me to put your toilet seat down? You do it.
It's unbelievable.
Great point.
Amy Marks.
All these years we've been married and you still won't do it.
That's not my problem. Do you want me to come in there and take care of it after the fact too? You take care of your own business.
Put the seat down.
You can do that
Put the seat up.
yourself. Yeah, right.
You don't even live with us.
We're going to talk to Scott McFarlane, used to be with CBS News and now with Midas Touch Network. Scott McFarlane, White House correspondent, or Washington correspondent, rather, will join us next.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large Wall Supplies Lab. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fred Birding games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
71 degrees, cloudy, breezy, and warm. Could be some heavy thunderstorms later in the day, and those could bring hail and damaging wind. A high today of 76. Tonight, warm, a thunderstorm in parts of the area, a low of 63.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. And of course, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX. And it's been so since gambling came online here at the beginning of the year. For me, it's been more years beyond that with FanDuel Sportsbook. I love it. I used to have to travel to use it. Now I get to use it here, and it's awesome. And if you haven't joined in yet, right now, new FanDuel customers can get a really great deal. You can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 days. It's a simple thing. So you sign up. Here's how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel using your Bet Reset token, which will be in the app when you log in, and it doesn't win, you will get up to $300 back in bonus bets. So every single day for 10 straight days, that's available to you. Just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up. And remember, FanDuel is where you get to play your game. You must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day, so restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
It's Amy Marks Course, Chris Ranji on KMOX. Time to go to the guest line this morning, and we welcome in a friend of the show, Scott MacFarlane, Chief Washington Correspondent for Midas Touch Network, and you will remember him for his longtime work at CBS News, and Scott is with us on KMOX. It's good to talk to you, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. It's always a thrill to be on KMOX because I was that kid with the transistor radio listening to Jack Buck call the Cardinals games, listening to Mike Shannon call the Cardinals games, and it's always got a special place in my heart.
Well, it really does as we celebrate 100 years here at KMOX. And I will do a little plug for the video that you put out about radio and CBS radio and what radio means. If you haven't seen it, people should follow Scott MacFarlane on Twitter and pull up that video. Well, now that you are with Midas Touch, the Chief Washington Correspondent, what did you make of President Trump's address last night?
It didn't do anything to move the movable opinions of Americans. I mean, you're looking at the reaction that goes straight down party lines. And that's not new with Trump, but that is new when you're talking about war and, military troops potentially being sent overseas. Usually that's a unifying theme or a unifying issue. And I just didn't see that. I saw Democrats saying that whole speech could have been an email, that it didn't clearly spell out a next set of steps or what the realistic plan is for the Strait of Hormuz, for gas prices, for peace in the Middle East. Republicans saying the president showed strength, gave the image of a commander-in-chief. You do address the nation when you're at war. It doesn't seem like Americans are terribly elastic on things involving Trump, and that even bleeds over to war.
And that's the thing that many people on his side, those who voted for him, thought that he would not do, is get us involved into more conflicts. He ran on it. He ran on getting us out of wars and not starting them. Do you think that moves the needle at all, though, for anybody who might be on the fringes?
I could tell you, talk to the Missouri congressional delegation. They were championing that pillar of Trump's campaign pledge too. 2 years ago, they were saying he's going to keep us out of foreign wars and he's going to keep lower gas prices and lower prices for us all. So we're at this moment where the stock market is tanking today. Oil prices are rising today. In the wake of this speech, it doesn't look like he solved any of those problems. But these are not easy problems to solve. The time frame he gave last night was a 2 to 3 week time frame for some type of end to some of what's happening in Iran, some of the military deployments there. But that 2 week time frame, that's kind of his go-to. It's been a crutch of his whenever he hits trouble is he says, I'll have an answer in 2 weeks. There's an aspiration he's right, but there's not a lot of confidence here.
Scott, and my question here, I am kind of editorializing on viewing the situation where it feels as though President Trump and the administration's response, explanation for, justification for this war has been bumbling, unclear. Even the objective, what does it mean to be done? We don't really know. And it's an interesting juxtaposition, what appears to be military excellence on the American military part. Is that a fair juxtaposition that militarily things are moving along precisely, even if the faces of the campaign with President Trump are not?
Yeah, two problems here. First of all, unlike the wars of the past generation, Persian Gulf War 1991, Iraq War 2003, we're not really seeing reports from the ground. There were reporters embedded with military forces in 2003 and 1991. CNN famously was live in Baghdad. We don't really see what's happening here, so it's difficult to get a measure of it. And yeah, he's been communicating an unclear message of what happens next. And when they talk about successes in Iran, they talk about tactical successes, things they blew up, things they took out, but they don't talk about the strategic successes, like what step has been accomplished that gets us to the next step. That's going to make this an albatross politically for the administration until some of that dynamic changes.
Talking with Scott MacFarlane here on KMOX, and he did say that, 2 to 3 weeks that all of this would be over. Is there any indication that number is realistic? Do people in Washington generally believe that he can accomplish that, or do they feel this will drag on longer?
I think there's a unanimous opinion this is going to drag on longer in some way, shape, or form. Maybe some benchmark will get hit in 2 or 3 weeks, but they're already floating this price tag of a potential $200 billion appropriation Congress will need to make to continue in Iran. I'm not sure Congress is going to sign off on that, but if that ask is going to be made, that tells you there's a long-term play here for the administration and for the U.S. military. And that doesn't count the Strait of Hormuz, which the president seemed to wash his hands of last night and said, other countries, this is on you now to handle it. But that really runs against the old Colin Powell Pottery Barn idea of war, that you broke it, you bought it, you own it. And it may be America's requirement.
Scott, you posted a video about the speech last night on how, there wasn't a clear objective to the speech. What was the news in the speech, you asked, and how media outlets are asking, well, should the media have given the president this platform? I'm a layman, but in my, my initial response is, well, but he's the president of the United States. How do you not air it?
Yeah, and if they ask, it's hard to say no. That said, typically the networks will ask for some sense of what type of announcement is going to be made. And there wasn't really an announcement, more of a galvanizing of support for what's been happening already. And I don't know that he's going to get a blank check the rest of this term to do that again. It's hard for the networks to say no, and certainly Trump will villainize anybody who says no and call him out publicly. But it is disruptive to take, Survivor was airing a first-run episode last night on CBS, and people didn't get to see the conclusion of it. That's not a small thing for the public when they're actually tuning into a television network to watch entertainment. To stop and hear the president talk, it best be important. And I don't know that he'll have a constant blank check or a continuous blank check for 4 years.
Has the media at large or networks at large said no to a president before? Like, we're not going to air this speech?
I've worked for 2 different networks, and I can tell you, I've heard the deliberations about this. We're told this is a big deal. We think this is a big deal. We hear this is a big deal. But, with presidential addresses, like the State of the Union, when the networks give their airtime, they get excerpts of the State of the Union in advance and have a sense of where this is going. They get briefed earlier in the day by the White House. They're going to give them the airtime anyhow, but at least they have a sense of things. I don't know that there are any excerpts or nuggets shared to get this national platform. And also, some of this is an antiquated notion, right? How many people are watching network TV at night, and how much of a voice is it the way it used to be 20 years ago? I think that's also a reflection on the new reality. Those airwaves may be less valuable than they used to be.
And it's interesting you bring that up, because you made a career change before all of the stuff went down with CBS News and CBS News Radio that we talked about right off the top. What was what went into your decision to go a more independent route?
First of all, I need some credit for doing the transition myself, for making that segue happen. No, I think these conversations go, and I wanted to get us to this topic, so I'm glad you did it. Here's the thing: I'm a radio person. I'm a radio guy at heart. I grew up in radio. I came through in radio, and radio is powerful because it is the intimate medium. It's where you're talking one person to one person. It's not a mass audience. It's a singular audience in radio. Different voice, different tone, different approach. So the new world of social media and independent journalism on platforms like YouTube and Substack and X and all these, Instagram, those are all radio skills that the social media people have stolen from us. They are using radio tactics. They're using radio tools to speak more intimately, more personally to an audience. It felt like a much more natural home than the world of national television, where you're talking to millions and you have to have the voice and authority of somebody talking to millions. That's the opposite of radio. And I just felt more comfortable getting back into the radio world. And that's what this is. Midas Touch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. They've all taken radio tools that you two have perfected, but that I think are the best way to communicate.
Did you hear that? He said we perfected it.
I don't think he's listened to our show. I think you just revealed something there, Scott.
We
But not to go back to this, but when Jack Buck called the game,
yeah.
when Jack Buck talked about Willie McGee, when Jack Buck talked about Jack Clark, he was talking just to you.
Yes. Oh,
He was it was one-on-one. TV guys don't have that.
do you know it's so funny because Ranj here, he was in Chicago, but then he was on another station in St. Louis, and I felt like I knew him before I knew him, which I was that dorky person who like, oh yeah, like I felt like I knew him because I had listened to him talk. He had been in my car
And
talking
then she found
every
out
day.
in reality that I actually suck.
Yeah,
Then,
but it really, you feel like you know these people. Yeah, don't never meet your heroes.
Well, I can't wait to meet Scott.
It's the power of the medium, though. I mean, it's really the power of this medium that no matter what happens economically in the industry, this power never goes away. And it's the reason you all been doing this for 100 years and 4 months now. It works.
Well, and Scott, to that point, the power of the medium, and not that, I mean, this has been well documented when you look at history and you look at social currents and how the American public has changed. You can also look at the way they consume their news and how different it was when it was the fireside chats. I mean, how intimate was that with world leaders, with the president of the United States during a very tumultuous time versus what we're looking at now, which is overload of information from everyone from the cable networks to TikTokers.
So what you have to do as a viewer, which is now being inundated with all this stuff, is you have to go to the people you trust, and you find either the singular people or the brands that you feel confident in, and that's where you go. Amid this cacophony of noise and news, KMOX has that brand, has that loyalty, has the trust of people who listen. Not everybody does, but those who've succeeded in getting the trust of listeners and viewers are the ones who are using radio skills. I mean, if you watch these influencers or your kids watch these influencers, you notice how close they are to the camera? Yeah. That's a technique. It's intimate. I'm talking just to you, up close and personal. Unlike television, which has you a mile away in that airport hangar of a TV studio. They're stealing from us, guys. They're just taking our stuff.
That's right. You know what? They are stealing from us. So it's a good thing somebody's called them out.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you to all of our listeners for being radio fans.
That's right. Scott MacFarlane, we're really happy that we get to talk to you still, and congratulations on making the move into a new role and one that you've chosen to do. So we appreciate you being with us again, as always, and good luck to you.
Call anytime.
Scott MacFarlane with Midas Touch joining us here on KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. Ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Lots going on in sports. You've got college basketball. You've got a couple of different tournaments that are ongoing right now. You have baseball is underway. We're a week into the regular season. Basketball and the professional side, hockey, all of it is happening. And with FanDuel, customers are getting up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Customers, that's you if you decide to participate. And here's how it works. You place any bet with FanDuel using your Bet Reset token, and if it doesn't win, you will get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's a lot going on. And FanDuel.com/Missouri is where you go to take advantage of it. FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel, play your game. You must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin. Trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L 544-3600.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Amy, last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, during the television broadcast on the Mets side, so the Cardinals finished up their series against the Mets. They took 2 of 3, Cardinals did. And yesterday, Gary Cohen, who is one of the Mets broadcasters, was talking about St. Louis, talking about downtown St. Louis. And they were showing establishing shots from Keener Plaza and the fountains and then the courthouse in the background. You see the arch back there as well. And this is what he had to say.
The only thing missing from that picture, as is often missing from every picture we show of downtown St. Louis, no people.
No people. Well, you know, they want it to look picturesque. You can see a car driving by on the right. That's the only sign of life.
But there's never anybody walking around.
No, there is
downtown St. Louis.
It's not very often. You're right.
It's like, remember the old neutron bomb that wouldn't knock down buildings but just would eliminate all the people? It's like one of those hits St. Louis.
I guess it's just a photo op. People then run and hide, so they're not in the photo.
Good Lord, dude.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So that's an outside perspective of downtown. And I know it's sort of, it mirrors what a lot of us say about
it's
the
what
city.
we say, but they're not supposed to say it.
No,
and also,
usually,
shouldn't it wake us all up? As much as we talk about the city every day and how there are people downtown, one, I am wounded by their commentary. They have no right to say that. And two, it should wake us up. This is how people view the city. I mean, it makes sense if no one's downtown walking about, but it hurts.
Yeah, so they're not wrong, because that's my criticism of the city. And I want that to be better, and it should be better, and we should do everything in our power to make it better. As a region, honestly. It's not just the leaders in St. Louis City proper. It's all of us. We should. The Mets came to town, and that's their takeaway from the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
It's not their takeaway from Chesterfield or St. Charles. That's their takeaway from the St. Louis area. Okay? That's how they feel about this region. That includes you. So if you think you're out west and, it doesn't bother me and it's not my problem, kind of is.
It is your problem. And also, that then is broadcast to their entire audience, many of whom maybe could be tourists one day.
Yeah.
Maybe could be swinging by St.
That's
Louis.
right.
And to Ranja's point, they're not wrong. Why? Because I'm looking out the window. There are no people walking downtown. And in fact, when Matt first opened the window in our studio, there was one guy walking on the sidewalk. In our entire view, we're looking at the Soldiers Memorial. We're looking at the Soviet-style apartment buildings. We're looking outside. There was one guy walking, and he was yelling at himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only guy. And that's why I say, where's Waldo? Every city has crime. When you go to Chicago, it's like, where's Waldo? There's people on the beach, and Waldo is the crime. In St. Louis, Waldo is the only guy on the beach because no one's downtown. We had Waldo just now, several minutes ago, and he was yelling at himself, and he was the only guy downtown.
Yeah,
This makes me mad and defensive for our city, but also mad because they're not entirely wrong.
No, and that's now how people who are Mets fans watching the broadcast who don't have a personal experience with coming here for themselves, they might take that and go, oh, well, St. Louis is dead, huh? That's the perception now for New York Mets fans, or a lot of them, because they have no real exposure to it. And if you're watching DTF St. Louis, that's not doing anything to change perceptions because they're not even featuring St. Louis. So if your only real introduction to the city is what they're talking about, well, that's a problem for us.
Here it is.
Every picture we show of downtown St. Louis, no people.
No people. Well, you know, they want it to look picturesque. You can see a car driving by on the right. That's the only sign of life.
But there's never anybody walking around in downtown St. Louis.
It's not very often, you're right.
It's like, remember the old neutron bomb that wouldn't knock down buildings but just would eliminate all the people? It's like one of those hit St. Louis.
I guess it's just a photo op. People then run and hide, so they're not in the photo.
I mean,
it's not great.
I feel like my blood is boiling, and I also feel really sad at the same time because I'm so mad that that's how they were portraying St. Louis. And at the same time, like I said, the one guy out the window of our studio this morning was yelling at himself.
That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. Hour 2 of the show is coming up next. When we return, we will talk to Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, Rush Hour Sports, or Redbird Rush Hour, and pre- and post-game coverage for the Cardinals. Cards have an off day, but they have just completed 2 series, about to start one against the Tigers tomorrow. Matt Pauley is next on KMOX.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now we have cloudy skies. It's windy. It'll get windier. It's 70 degrees right now. I'm Debbie Monterey. Markets opened sharply down this morning. CBS's Jill Schlesinger tells us the market sank on disappointment after President Trump's address last night to the nation when he did not announce a clear-cut end to the war against Iran, adding to concerns about rising prices on just about everything.
We feel pessimistic. We feel scared. We just had this inflationary surge in 2022. Are we going back there? These are the emotional aspects that can actually impact not just what we do at the pump, not just what we do at the grocery store, but how we feel about the economy and our actions otherwise. And I think sometimes, again, we have to acknowledge that the emotional part of this is going to get worse as the conflict continues.
New federal numbers show Missouri has the fastest job growth in the nation and one of the best labor participation rates. Kara Corches of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry tells MissouriNet apprenticeship programs are likely a big part of that.
So I would say whatever we're doing in terms of helping and removing obstacles for individuals to go to work seems to be working.
The same study found Missouri added 52,000 jobs last year. Among the biggest gaining sectors, healthcare and education, leisure and hospitality, also mining, logging, and construction. Pope Leo is leading Holy Week observances at the Vatican. CBS's Chris Livesay in Rome tells us the American Pope is now starting to move away from how his predecessor, Pope Francis, conducted his papacy and chart a direction of his own.
Now we're starting to see him make some distinctive changes to the papacy. So the washing of the feet of other priests. We know, for instance, that he's going to, or has already started to move into the papal apartments. That's a stark departure from Pope Francis, who wanted to live in the nearby guest house. So symbolically, he's starting to say, I'm my own man.
CBS News correspondent Chris Van Cleve in Houston says the next step for on whether to leave Earth's orbit for the moon.
If all is green, they can move forward. They're going to make that assessment this afternoon. It will be probably a long meeting as they go through a ton of data just to make sure everything looks good. And then they can decide to do this next burn, the translunar injection.
From the KMOX business desk, 2 local eateries are about to get the national spotlight when they're featured on the Drew Barrymore show this month. On April 13th, it's Balkan Treat Box, whose chef Lauren Nalick was just announced as a finalist for the James Beard Best Chef Midwest Award. On April 21st, it's Montebello Pizzeria on Weber Road. The Lime Eatery dates back to 1953, but was taken over 5 years ago by a couple who grew up eating there and wanted to preserve its legacy, according to St. Louis Magazine. The weather is sponsored by i3 Broadband.
Windy and warmer this afternoon with a couple of showers and even heavy thunderstorms that can produce hail and damaging winds, high 78. Another shower or thunderstorm, low 62 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy and windy from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. And spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet to upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband Plus. They're springing forward with the longest price guarantees ever on their gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. Again, a wind advisory kicks in from noon through 7, and your weather sponsored by i3 Broadband. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The pitch, a swing and a fly ball, short right field. That is going to drop, and a Redbird winner. The ball falls in front of Benj, and the Cardinals walk it off. Go Paulie!
Paulie's a great name.
Go Paulie!
What'd you do for Paulie? Anything?
Me, Paulie, I was responsible.
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Hey, bloop single's just as good as a ball in the gap, isn't it? A win is a win. The Cardinals have taken 2 series to open the season. They will have their first road trip beginning tomorrow as they will play the Tigers in Detroit. It is an afternoon game on Friday. So, if you want to knock off work early tomorrow, maybe head to your local pub and enjoy some afternoon Cardinals baseball, you can do that. 12:15 or 12:10 rather will be our first pitch here on KMOX. And Matt Pauley, the host of pre and post game coverage, Redbird Rush Hour, and Sports Open Line, he is with us now on KMOX. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Good start to the season. And, I know it's only 2 series, but it's still fun to watch the Cardinals play good baseball, which is what they've been doing for the first 6 games.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good opening week at home. We don't want to make too much of winning 4 of your first 6, but I think we did see some things that are potentially sustainable with the way the team played, the energy that they had, the care that they had. Obviously, it's a lot of fun watching young guys like J.J. Weatherholt and Mason Wynn go out and do their thing. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good first week of Cardinals baseball for sure.
Hey, speaking of Mason Wynn, quickly with him batting cleanup, and obviously he got the walk-off last night, and I can't remember if the quote was before the game or after, Matt, where he said, well, if I were hitting better, maybe people wouldn't be as upset that I'm hitting cleanup. Is that something that is just surprising people, taking them off guard? Is that why it's kind of been an issue?
I think it's because he's not the guy that you think of as being a cleanup hitter, just his profile. Now, baseball has changed. Like in the past, you did put your best, most impactful hitter as your 4 hitter. Now you do that as your 2 hitter. So I think people also have to understand that just the way you build lineups and what we know about the best way to build lineups has changed a little bit. That being said, Wynn does not look like a guy who you would think is going to bat cleanup, and his numbers have not gone along with it. So, yeah, people have been upset. To me, this has actually been probably the thing I've heard most from people every single day on the postgame show. There has been text and comments about Wynn batting in the cleanup spot. I thought Ali gave a really good answer about it when he was on with Gas House Gang on Tuesday. I've played back that answer a couple times for people who have been frustrated by it. So in a perfect world, would maybe a Jordan Walker really put together what he did in his first 4 games of the season and make that be real, and maybe he moves into that 4 spot at some point? Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect world scenario. But right now, I don't want to see Ivan Herrera move out of the 2 spot. He's a lot more impactful in that spot. So I'm fine with Wynn batting cleanup.
Yeah, the conventional, not conventional, but the more modern way of thinking is your best hitter will be second in the lineup and not third. Though I don't know if it makes a dramatic difference over the course of a year. It might be marginal. But if you want to optimize a lineup, that's the best thing to do is have that person second. So that's why you want Herrera there. And, his answer, a lot of it was about the lefty righty thing. He likes to not have 2 lefties going back to back in the lineup. And I get that. But do you envision that he will move off of this fairly quickly? And I asked him that question. I mean, do you have a time in mind when you would say, okay, this isn't working, I'm going to put somebody else in that spot. And he didn't really have a hard answer on that, but I would imagine he would pivot if it just ends up not working well.
Yeah, but I think we're still a ways away from that happening. I don't think that's something that is imminent, is going to change. And the other thing is, I mean, you look at those top 4 hitters, Weatherholt, Herrera, Burleson, and Wynn. With all due respect to everybody else in the lineup, those are like the 4 guys that on the team that you feel like that they're going to build around and move forward with. So you put them in the 4 most important spots, and you go with them in a year where it is about those type of players developing into what you want them to be. So is there a leash on this thing? Is there a point where you just can't bat Wynn in the 4 spot anymore because he's continuing to hit 160? Yeah, that comes up at some point in time. I don't think we're anywhere close to that right now.
Yeah, I don't think for the long term, even if you're just trying to give them reps and just let them play and let them continue to grow and learn and all of that, I still don't think you want a 460 OPS guy cleaning up. And I mean, again, I agree with you. I don't think he makes that move anytime soon, but at some point he probably pivots.
Yeah.
All right. So, and let's talk about him in terms of the accident, the car accident that happened last night. They say he's okay. Is it okay enough that he's going to end up playing tomorrow, that it's not, he doesn't have any bumps or bruises or anything like that?
Yeah, they haven't said much more beyond that at this point in time. They issued a statement that came out last night that he went to a hospital and that there was nothing there. So we should get more details probably coming up tomorrow once the media is able to get some access to the team. You're just thankful that it wasn't a bigger deal. That anytime you're in a car accident, that's a really scary situation and it can go in a very bad direction. And the fact that he was seemingly okay. That's one where I'm more worried about the human being than the baseball player, and I'm happy that he seems to be okay. If he's a little bit, bruised up or a little bit sore because of it, and he's got to sit for a couple days, not the end of the world.
Hey, Matt, I kind of know the routine for hockey teams, less so with baseball, but do the teams work out, practice, go to the stadium on travel days at all?
No, not really, because so today, a lot of times you travel immediately after the game. So there would have been times this year where they would have traveled right after the game yesterday and then had the entire day in Detroit today as their off day. They're traveling today, so that's actually a little bit different than what teams normally do. But no, if it's an off day or a travel day, there's not any type of on-field activity. You play 162 games, you get a week, a day off a week. Sometimes they don't do any type of on-field work on those off days.
Let's talk about the pitching staff, because the first time we've gone now through the rotation a turn plus. Matthew Liberatore has now made a couple of different starts, for example. So, I mean, how do you feel about the way they've pitched? And we can go top to bottom here, because in the first series, bullpen had some issues that seems to have ironed out a bit considerably in this second series. So just assessing pitching staff top to bottom, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the starting rotation for the most part did a nice job. You want to see a little bit more from Dustin May. He struggled in his first outing. Kyle Leahy was good through 5. He came back after the 6th inning, ends up giving up a couple runs, so the line looks worse than it actually was. It was 4 runs in 5 innings, where it could have easily been 2 runs in 5 innings. There's not enough swing and miss right now. That's the biggest issue that I have. Michael McGreevy had 5 strikeouts in his 6 innings of no-hit baseball. That's the most strikeouts that you've seen. There's been a lot of talk about this rotation having more swing and miss, so I'd like to see that. I thought Matthew Liberatore was much better yesterday. He gave up a lot of hard contact on opening day, did not give up a lot of hard contact yesterday. It's 1 start plus 2 starts for Liberatore. Not everything is perfect. There are certainly things that I would like to see get better, but like an Andre Palante, that was great to see because he was probably the biggest question mark. And 1 start doesn't mean that everything's right with him, but it was very good to see that from Palante. It was good to see Leahy get through the 5, giving up just the 2 runs. I think that shows you that he's in the right spot. The only guy that really had a very, very challenging start was Dustin May, and I'm pretty confident that he's going to find it at some point. All
right, Matt Pauley, I don't know if we had an opportunity to talk. I mean, we've pretty much been talking all Cardinals with you this week. But last week, we got the news that Josh Schertz is going to remain the Billikens head basketball coach, even after he was courted by NC State last week. And there was a moment where, there was some concern that even after signing the extension, he might be leaving. He's decided to stay. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I'm glad he's sticking around. I always thought he was going to stick around. I didn't think he was going to take the NC State job. I like Josh Schertz a lot. I would have been that's a job I would have been disappointed with him taking, especially when I'm not trying to go off on people here, but the athletic director at NC State has made some terrible decisions, and he's Kevin Keats got them to a Final Four, and he got fired the next year. And then they go hire Will Wade. Will Wade was caught by the FBI on a wiretap cheating, and that's what lost him his job at LSU the first time. And so, okay, guys get second chances. Like, you go hire Will Wade. I'm not upset about that, but Will Wade's kind of a scuzzball, and he leaves after 1 year, and their AD starts crying about the fact how he feels betrayed, yada, yada. Like, you got in bed with this guy. What did you think? Who did you think that Will Wade was going to be? So I'm glad that he's not going to NC State, and I don't think that would have been a good spot for him.
All right. Speaking of college basketball, Fighting Illini, they are in the Final Four, and they will play tomorrow. So this is, pretty cool, man. I mean, they're back in the Final Four. Excuse me, they'll play Saturday. Dude, my days have been off. It is Thursday right now.
Week.
It is not Friday. It is Thursday. So they will play Saturday against UConn, 3 seed versus the 2. What do you think, man?
I think it's a really good game. I like both these games a lot. Michigan, Arizona, and Illinois. UConn, you could have an all Big Ten national title game. That's what the expectation is. Each team is favored by a 1.5. Illinois has just been a great story this year, and they've gone on this Final Four run. That's been one of the questions since Coach Underwood's been there. He hasn't had a lot of deep runs in the NCAA tournament. He's never gotten to the Final Four. Now he has. I like him a lot. I'm a big, big, big fan of Brad Underwood, and I'm glad that he's at Illinois. And I don't know enough to sit here and break down this game on Saturday, but just knowing what I know about these two teams, I'm expecting a really good game.
Matt, finally, last night, Chris Kerber and I were going back and forth about whether or not the game against the LA Kings, the Blues and the Kings last night, was a must win. He said it absolutely was, just because of there are only 8 games left now for the Blues. The LA Kings are one of the teams vying for that playoff position. I said it wasn't, because I am loath to use must win unless it really, in retrospect, is always a must win. At any rate, we did not talk about the possibility of a tie. So the Blues were chasing the Nashville Predators, but with that victory, the LA Kings now are in that second wild card spot with 78 points. The Blues are 4 points back with 74. It is going to be very tough for them to overcome that 4-point gap.
It is. And that's the last 2 games have been really disappointing, because if the Blues win these last 2 games, holy moly, are they right there. And
they're in.
Yeah. So, they'd have 4 more points, and the Kings would have 2 less points, and the Sharks would have 2 less points. So that's really disappointing that opportunity was right there for them, and they were unable to come through. I guess from a technical standpoint, you don't lose any ground, because yesterday it was 73 points and Nashville was at 77. Now you're at 74 points and Los Angeles is at 78. So you're still -4, but you're -4 with one last game to play. You still have a bunch of teams between you and that playoff spot. It's not a 100%. Okay, this isn't going to happen, but they would be in really good position if they would have just won those last 2 games.
Redbird Rush Hour at 5 o'clock. Sports Open Line at 6. Matt Pauley has you covered. Thank you, Matt.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Cardinals baseball comes back tomorrow. First road trip of the season. We will have the broadcast here starting at 11:15. 11:15 is our pregame show tomorrow morning. 12:10 first pitch from Detroit. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Major Garrett will be with us at 10:30 here on 104.1 FM.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renters also hire experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. And of course, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX. And it's been so since gambling came online here at the beginning of the year. For me, it's been more years beyond that with FanDuel Sportsbook. I love it. I used to have to travel to use it. Now I get to use it here, and it's awesome. And if you haven't joined in yet, right now, new FanDuel customers can get a really great deal. You can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 days. It's a simple thing. So you sign up. Here's how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel using your Bet Reset token, which will be in the app when you log in, and it doesn't win, you will get up to $300 back in bonus bets. So every single day for 10 straight days, that's available to you. Just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up. And remember, FanDuel is where you get to play your game. You must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day, so restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
The results are in for the inebriate round of our Barch Madness tournament. We're looking for the best bar in the St. Louis area, and you have been responding in big ways, and you have helped us whittle it down We are on to the Frosty 4, baby.
So we need a whittle, more help.
Yes, we do need a little more help. Amy, I hate you.
You said it, though.
Because I hate you.
Anyway,
So here we go. You ready?
The Frosty 4, baby.
The Frosty 4 is here in the Barch Madness tournament, and we need you to vote at Chris Amy KMOX. Go follow us on Twitter, and then you can vote for your favorite bars in St. Louis. And here we are. The winner of the Eberhard-Anheuser region is McGurk's. McGurk's with a win over Helen Fitzgerald's. And so McGurk's, the 1 seed in the Anheuser region, has advanced. And I have to tell you, I'm not entirely surprised because it is just a really great spot. Really great spot.
Yeah.
So McGurk's with a decisive victory over Helen's with 74% of the vote.
I mean, the live Irish music. How many nights a week? Multiple nights a week? You can't beat that.
I think it's every night, isn't it?
Most nights, if
So-
not every.
McGurk's advances, and now they will take on the champion of the Adolphus Busch region, which is Humphreys.
There you go.
Humphreys near the SLU campus just narrowly defeated Milo's Bocce Garden, 51% of the vote, 51 to 49. It does not get much closer than that. So McGurk's takes on the 5 seed Humphreys in the Frosty 4, Amy. As we move on to the William J. Lemp region, it is Amsterdam Tavern advancing past Tam Avenue. Amsterdam with a 54% showing by beating Tam. Amsterdam is the champion of the William J. Lemp region, and they will now take on O.B. Clark's.
Wow.
O.B. Clark's, the 1 seed, has won the Anton Griesedick region. They beat Broadway Oyster Bar by getting 54% of the vote.
So we have 3 1 seeds and a 5 seed.
Yeah.
3 1 seeds and a 5. Wow.
How about that? Humphreys is on a magical run here, just like the Billikens.
I know.
They had a magical run through the regular season.
And now they're facing a 1 seed, just like the Billikens.
Just like that. That's a tough matchup, man. Humphreys versus McGurk's.
I know.
And then it's Amsterdam taking on O.B. Clark's. Those are a couple of heavyweights there.
It's not only, yes, that there are a couple of heavyweights that you love the different bars, but I don't know. Bars have different vibes. So sometimes you want a McGurk's vibe and sometimes you want a Humphreys vibe. So it's like picking a favorite song. I don't know if you listen to music emotionally. Like some days you feel like listening to one song, some days another.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pick this. I have sentimental value for each of these bars, and each of them has a very different vibe.
Well, here's what fascinates me. Okay. We have the soccer bar facing the hockey bar.
True.
So how's that going to go? Amsterdam versus O.B. Clark's?
I don't know.
So who's better? Is it the soccer fan or the hockey fan?
Well, we know hockey fans are better,
Well,
but
I'm not so sure about that.
they're,
I am not so sure about that.
I don't know who's going to win.
And then you got the bar that caters to the youngs on certain nights of the
They
week.
had penny
Just like-
pitchers suitable for all ages over 21.
I'm talking about both of them. McGurk's versus Humphreys.
That's true.
Oh, man. What a great Frosty 4 matchup. You have to go to our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX and follow us and vote. But voting in the Frosty 4 is live, and we're going to run that through the weekend. We're going to have our championship matchup. We'll reveal that on Monday. I'm excited, baby.
I'm
We're getting
excited,
down
too.
to it, Amy.
I am also excited
To
about
talk to Major Garrett.
I am excited to
He's
talk to
next.
Major Garrett, and I'm excited about going to The Only Facial. Now, I got my first facial at theonlyfacial.com. The Only Facial, man, this was about 3 weeks ago now, maybe 4 weeks ago, and my skin was glowing, and it was so nice to finally take that step on skincare, because the thing is, I'm in my 40s now, and you notice things like wrinkles and sunspots, and maybe your skin isn't quite as bright and glowy as it used to be, but it's overwhelming, all the products out there. The Only Facial makes it easy. They have the whole process down to a science, whether it is cleansing your face, dermaplaning, microdermabrasion. It's $125 each time. That's it. You don't have to add gratuity. They're not going to try to sell you products. So that takes a lot of stress out of it too, because you know what the commitment is, $125. And there's a location near you: University City, De Pere, Clayton, Sunset Hills, Frontenac, Creve Coeur, and the streets of St. Charles. It's so easy to book your appointment at theonlyfacial.com.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If it's cold outside, the team at Morelli Tuck Pointing is still busy. During colder months, Morelli can inspect any exposed brick inside your house. If your basement has a stone or black wall, Morelli can remove the worn-out mortar from that wall and replace it with new mortar. This tuck pointing work will reinforce your foundation, prevent water from entering your home, and thwart pests. This is a great time to get the inside of your garage inspected. And the same goes for your brick or stone fireplace. I've used Morelli Tuck Pointing to repair the chimneys, walkways, and walls of 2 homes here in St. Louis. The Morelli bids are fair, their crews are super polite, and they clean their job sites. Don't take my word for it. Check out the reviews on Google. Winner of the BBB Torch Award and the Next Door Neighbor Fave Award, 35 years in business, an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
72 degrees, cloudy, breezy, and getting windier. Could bring heavy thunderstorms late in the day, and those could bring hail and damaging winds, so be careful out there. A high of 76 tonight. Warm, maybe some more thunderstorms in parts of the area, a low of 63.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Springfest is happening now at Lowe's. Keep the spotlight on your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch, 5 bags for $10. Plus, when you want more help indoors, get up to 40% off select major appliances that help you supercharge your chores. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid to 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
And tonight I'm making a little speech at 9 o'clock, and basically I'm going to tell everybody how great I am. What a great job I've done. What a phenomenal job. What a phenomenal job I've done.
Every Thursday, just after 10:30, we bring in our guy, Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News. His show is The Takeout, and it is on CBS News 24/7. You can watch and listen to that show, and we are joined by Major now. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. Let's talk about Amy.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Wait. Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about Amy.
Is she in trouble?
Oh, no.
No, Amy, have you not been paying attention?
Dude.
You are in second place in my bracket, and if Arizona wins, you are the winner. You have the only perfect Final Four in the top 20 rankings of my bracket.
Really?
Have you not been paying attention to any mark scores?
Oh, my God.
Well, I was off yesterday.
Amy is oblivious to a lot.
All you have to do is go on the internet. Okay? It's really simple.
Wow.
I didn't
You
notice
are
it
in
either.
second place, and if the University of Arizona wins, you are the winner.
Oh my gosh. I feel this is how Miss America must feel when they're like, Miss Missouri.
Well, Miss America, I believe, knows she's in the pageant.
Oh my Lord.
Do you know
remembers the pageant part, remembers that she's actually a contestant.
Do you know what happened is I am so used to losing everything, Major, that I assume I am so accustomed to losing. Which is a surprise the president doesn't want to hang out with me, but I am so often a loser. I'm just so honored.
So
thank you, Major, for bringing this to my attention.
And as I'm looking at it, thank
you for your attention to this matter.
I am directly behind Major Garrett. Major is 10th.
Okay.
And I am 12th.
Yeah, but I have no chance.
Because Florida's out. Yeah.
Yeah, because my national champion was Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so honored.
Yeah.
And I have no chance either, because even if UConn wins, there's somebody who's up in the 4th spot that has UConn winning. So, wow.
Right.
This is amazing.
Amy has the only, and let me repeat this, she has the only perfect Final Four in the top 20 contestants in my bracket. The only one.
Thank you.
I cannot tell you.
Final Four. You got all Final Four teams correct, Amy, even though you apparently don't care about that.
Oh, I do care.
She is so Major. I can't tell you. Look, I like you a lot, and I am so upset that you brought this up. I wish you had kept this to yourself.
Wow.
I'm so mad.
I'm the commissioner. I don't keep these things to myself because, as you know, if Amy wins, she gets the money, substantial amount of money, and then she tells me what her favorite charity is, and then I give 3 times that amount to her favorite charity. So I pay very close attention to who the winner of my tournament is.
Yeah.
I think I didn't even realize that, Major. I thought that that the little buy-in was just contributing. I think I didn't. I think I've made a terrible mistake.
I work very hard on my commish with the dish notes, and you clearly do not read them.
I've read some of them.
That's incredible.
Major, I am both thrilled and humiliated. I'm so sorry. I usually don't feel those two emotions at the exact same time. I'll tell you what, it's exhilarating. It is exhilarating.
Leave it to me to create that particular emotional point of combination.
Wow.
And I am disgusted. So now
we have a full platter of emotions.
Yeah, we do.
It is.
A full platter of emotions.
Wow.
Deeply emotional.
I can't believe it. I
Thursday
got the
here on the.
She's not going to be able to think about anything else now for the rest of the day.
I am not. Look
That's
how
what-
pretty
so you've
you're
taken her
right.
out.
My Final Four looks so pretty. It's all green.
Okay.
It's all green.
Now let's really send this down a different direction.
Okay, all right,
Thank you,
Ron.
Major.
All right. Put this back on the rails, Ron. Here we go. Come on now.
This is going to be the biggest accomplishment of my life.
Speaking of on the rails, how about the president's speech last night? He did earlier in the day, and we played the audio.
Yes.
Where he said, I'm going to basically tell everybody how great I am. He literally said that. Did he accomplish that feat last night, Major?
Well, if you think he was great before the speech, you probably think he's great after the speech, because that speech, by any measure, did not add anything to the known knowledge about his intentions, goals, objectives, timeline for the war with Iran. Not to say the things that he said were not important. They are in the context, but he'd all said them before. And typically, the purpose of a primetime address is to say something new, to convey some important new information or put some context around something that you've decided that lets the American people know a new direction or whatever the underlying policy is. That did not happen last night. There was not one shred of new news in that speech. There was 20 minutes of reciting damage done to the Iranian Navy. Already said that. Damage done to the Iranian Air Force. Already said that. Damage done to ballistic missile stockpiles and production. Already said that. Said that not once, not twice, but many times. Said the Strait of Hormuz is something that the others should take care of. He said that on social media numerous times and in previous conversations with reporters recorded at the White House. said it would be 2 to 3 weeks. He had said that already 2 days ago. So I don't know what the purpose of the primetime address was, other than just to say, I think the war in Iran is going well. Maybe to try directionally to change the impression the majority of the country has about whether it thinks this war is going well or fulfilling understandable or valued objectives. Perhaps that was a political ploy to try to enliven the conversation, but it did not add anything to anyone's body of knowledge, either about what is going on or what will be going on. And that's just for the country to digest as it sees fit. But I was expecting something new, because you don't ask for network time unless you're going to offer something new. And there was nothing new there.
Major, yesterday as well, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments on President Trump's effort to limit birthright citizenship. And notably, the president became the first sitting president in recorded history to be a listener in the gallery during those arguments. And I guess the two questions would be regarding the argument itself on limited birthright citizenship and also the significance of the presence of President Trump.
So he was there for his administration's presentation. As soon as John Sauer, the Solicitor General, finished his arguments, which did not go particularly well with the Supreme Court, Trump left. So he did not stay to hear the other parts of the arguments defending birthright citizenship as it's been understood in the 14th Amendment, as it's been understood in laws amplifying the 14th Amendment passed after its ratification, or in previous Supreme Court decisions around this question. So he didn't listen to any of that part that was highly skeptical from a legal and precedential point of view on his attempt through an executive order, signed his first day back in office, to end birthright citizenship. So he didn't stay for that part. He only stayed for the part advocating his point of view. As soon as that advocacy was over, he bailed. So yes, it's historic that he was there. It's also his right, clearly. But he's made it clear he disapproves of this Supreme Court, even the justices that he put on the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, to name two. And he has to know, and he knew, I think, going in, that he was not going to win this case. The only question really is, by how great a margin will he lose on this central question of, does the 14th Amendment say what it means, mean what it says? And do the laws passed after that mean what they say? And yes, there was a lot of debate about what this particular word might or might not mean. What did it mean in the context of the debate about the 14th Amendment or laws passed in the immediate aftermath? But it was clear the justices know what the law says about this, what it's historically said about it, and the profound implications of reversing this. And every every court watcher I have read, rather, has said this is not going to happen. My own colleague Jan Crawford has been very emphatic about this in our conversations on my show, The Takeout, and elsewhere on CBS. The court is not going to adhere to the president's, let us put on emphasis on this point, unique interpretation of what the 14th Amendment says. What he says about it is not consistent with the historical understanding of the 14th Amendment, laws passed since then, or Supreme Court precedent on this matter. So it is largely for show, It's an important debate, but it's only a debate as the president has raised it. It has not been historically debated in our country. We have always understood what this means. And if you're born in this country, you obtain through that birthright in this country the rights of a citizen. We have long understood that, we have long valued that, and we have long legally protected that. That understanding, those values, and those protections, in all likelihood, will remain.
And from some of what I saw, it didn't seem to go particularly well for John Sauer and the Trump administration case, because at one point, Justice Neil Gorsuch asked John Sauer, do you think Native Americans are birthright citizens under your test? And Sauer said, I think so. I have to think that through. And a commenter posted that is like if you're going to make an argument in front of a panel that included Cookie Monster, and Cookie Monster asked about cookies, and you had not prepared for a cookie question in advance. And he said that's how unprepared it seemed for John Sauer.
Right. And look, there is this question of our historical relationship to Native American populations and the sovereignty that tribal lands and tribes had ascribed to themselves and have been recognized by the federal government. It is a kind of angels on the head of a pin question, but there's a sort of hyper simplicity. Native Americans, it's sort of baked into their original status here, okay? And that question, sovereignty, tribal lands, federal government relationship, has long since been resolved. It's not a place of dispute and it's not a place of question. But John Sauer didn't want to be there, didn't want to be prepared there, because to answer it truthfully, to answer it legally, would have undercut the argument he was sent there to make. And he certainly didn't want to do that in the president's presence. I don't know John Sauer personally, but I believe he knows the answer to that and would, in any other context, quite quickly given the correct answer. But he doesn't feel professionally that he can do that, especially not with the president glowering over his shoulder in the gallery of the Supreme Court.
Major Garrett, the president wants all Department of Homeland Security employees to be paid now, not just TSA workers. Are we going to get close to a resolution on all of this anytime soon?
Well, not legislatively. And there are plenty of options to legislatively do this, which is what Congress ought to do, and not continue to cede power to the president to try to find ways through executive authority to fund things that Congress hasn't funded. Again, you're just ceding power to the president. I'm not even sure it's legal. Now, you'd need someone who would sue over this. I'm not sure who would sue over it, but it doesn't appear to be all that legal. The president just saying, well, there's money floating around and I'm going to move it around the way I want to. Okay, well, there are some flexibilities for the administration to do that and for a president to do that, but this seems way beyond those known flexibilities. The House Republicans, again, keep rejecting a deal that the White House has blessed between the Senate Republicans and the Senate Democrats. If the House came into session today and had a chance to this morning and just said in a pro forma session, we agree to the amendment from the Senate and hereby pass it to the president, this would be over. But they had a chance to do that this morning? No, didn't want to do that. Why? Because there's some hardliners on the House Republican conference side who don't like this deal, even though it's the only deal that's gettable. The White House has said the president will sign it. This can end this all legislatively. You can protect the powers of the purse. Nope. House Republicans don't want to do this. And you can blame the House Republicans have, Democrats all you want. But when it's a deal that the White House has agreed to, the Senate Republicans negotiated, it gets increasingly difficult to blame this on Democrats.
Major Garrett, we look forward to speaking again next week, and good luck.
And we'll know what the status of this very big question is. Is Amy the winner or not? And does she even care?
I do care.
Okay.
I have been conditioned to lose, Major. Conditioned to lose. So this is just such an unusual situation for me to be in that I am surprised and delighted.
There you go. Well, enjoy your Final Four weekend.
Thank you. You too, Major. And I'll keep reading the commish newsletters.
Thank you.
Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. The Takeout is his show. You can watch it every day on CBS News 24/7, or you can listen to the show as well. And he is the commissioner of our tournament pool, and Amy is in second place. And we got to go to break like right now. So I never have to hear about this again, hopefully.
Well, I'll just say this. The reason why I was so surprised is in my other bracket, I am 104th.
Oh.
So there you go. Well, if you want to be a winner, let's say on April 25th, here's what you need to do is sign up for the STL Work Zone Awareness Run. The STL Work Zone Awareness Run is, as the name implies, an event that's dedicated to promoting safety for road workers and raising awareness about work zone hazards. It's actually just a really good reminder for all of us that when we go through work zones on the highway or, we're picking kids up from school, you see the cones, you see the signs, just to slow down, put your phone down, be extra aware because the men and women working on the roads, they are mothers and fathers and husbands and wives and sisters and brothers, and we want to make sure that they get home safely as well. The St. Louis Work Zone Awareness Run is a 5K and a 1 mile fun run, so you can walk it, you can walk the mile, you can jog it, whatever you want to do. Bring the whole family. It's at the MoDOT headquarters right there at 141 and Highway 40, so central location for everybody to get to, and it's just a good time. They've got fun MoDOT trucks out there as well if you've got little ones that are into that. So just Google STL Work Zone Awareness Run.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got tickets we're going to give away to see comedian Tom Papa. He is at the Factory September 26th. And we have tickets courtesy of Live Nation to give away to a pair of listeners here. Well, 2 listeners, 1 pair. And you have to be listening for a chance to go to that show. And we'll tell you how to win those, but it's not right now. I can tell you that much.
No. So keep listening. John is watching on Facebook, and he says, Chris, the look on your face when Major announced that Amy is in second place was priceless. The words shock and disbelief come immediately to mind.
Well, I'm not entirely surprised because it's not unusual for somebody that has no idea what they're doing to do well in these brackets. That happens.
You would think that you would do better.
Well, I mean, I know what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying, is that you don't, and you're in second place. I'm in 12th.
I'm in 104th in the
I think Major for, was it the first couple of rounds? I think he was in first place.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, we will keep an eye on that and keep all of you updated. I already know what charity I'm going to pick if I win.
Okay.
So there's that. We did have a texter that I think confused Orange. The texter, a 636, texted in, "What a letdown, LOL." And Ranj replied, What's a letdown? And that texter clarified that they were responding to the conversation when I with Scott McFarland when I said that I was a fan of Ranj and I felt like I knew him. And then when I met him, I realized you were a terrible person.
Yeah.
And he just said it was funny at the time.
Yeah.
Love the show.
Yeah. Well, yes. That's you don't meet your heroes.
No, never meet your heroes. Okay. Also, too quickly, 2 texts back to back that are kind of interesting because as Major said, you normally don't have a president who doesn't have a point, who calls a speech and said, hey, I would like network time to cover the speech I'm going to give when they're not revealing anything new. And a 314 says that's what a cult leader does. Then a 618 also points out the beauty of a primetime presidential address is that everybody hears it from the horse's mouth. Not every listener had heard the details since the media is sometimes guilty of selective reporting. And I will say, if a senator, because there was a whole ordeal when Tom Cotton wrote an op-ed in the New York Times and people felt threatened by his op-ed. I said, no, let him write the op-ed. If a senator's crazy or great, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. And there is something to be said for if this is the president of the United States, you want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Whether he's great in your mind or he's digging himself a deeper hole, I do think there's something to be said for let's see it for ourselves. Because let's say it wasn't aired and you said, oh, well, the president just talked about how great he was. You could dismiss that and say, oh, that's just Ranj. Ranj just said the president was going to talk about how great he was. But if you have the video of him making the address himself, it does let everyone see it.
You know, I suppose it's a little bit like if there is a tornado warning, okay, that's coming through and they preempt whatever programming is on to bring you the tornado coverage, even if it doesn't hit you or cause any major extensive damage, right? It's still not a waste that they decided to. They can't come to you after the fact and say, oh, yeah, by the way, be careful, tornadoes coming through. If the president makes it known that he's going to give a speech about a war that is ongoing, you probably need to default to airing that live and hope that he does say something of substance.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't, like you said, I would think that you would err on the side of airing the president's speech.
Right.
There's a point of clarification, too, that we've talked about this off air, but there's a texter who said they're trying to sign up for a betting app and said, you keep advertising for FanDuel.
Yeah,
but
let me read this one.
Okay.
This texter says 2 things. Still not a fan of Ranji, and I can see why he's not married. You always put the toilet seat down, you butthead. It's called common courtesy.
That's right.
Okay.
That person is right.
Well, then maybe wouldn't it be courteous of you to raise the seat when you're finished so that when I come in?
No, because that's where the gross.
So courtesy only goes one way.
It's
I
like
get it.
the seat is like lifting up a rock and all the bugs and icky stuff is under.
Well, we have another texter who says they used to leave the toilet seat up and he would tell his daughters that it was so they could check for spiders when they went in. So, hey, their courtesy goes both ways.
So that's one. What was point number 2?
And the other one was you guys keep advertising for FanDuel, but didn't they go bankrupt is what they were saying. No, you're thinking about the network.
Purely,
and it was Green Street Sports. Yeah. FanDuel had naming rights for it. FanDuel, the company, is fine.
And I keep saying if I were FanDuel, because you're making a gazillion dollars, I would want my name off of that network immediately because it is confusing. But FanDuel has nothing to do with Green Street Sports.
That's right. So and they say they're looking for a betting app, FanDuel is alive and well. It's the network run by Green Street, which was Sinclair, and they don't know what they're doing. So that's a completely different thing. Hour 3 of the show is coming up next, and we also have the Gas House Gang at 12. Bernie Miklasz and me. We'll have Will Leach on the show at 12:30 on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fred Bird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Staples presents That Was Easy. So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures. Everything and then some. I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus. One money pit with a side of fries. But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders. $125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples. That was easy. Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
It is 11 o'clock, and right now in downtown St. Louis, cloudy skies. It's getting windier out there. Currently, it is 71 degrees in downtown St. Louis. President Trump told America last night the nation's core strategic objectives in Iran are nearly achieved. Meanwhile, leaders of European and Asian nations are discussing ways to fully open the Strait of Hormuz to oil tanker transit. We get more from CBS's Rami Inocencio at the Foreign Desk in London.
There is a virtual summit of 35 countries to try to get to how to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The UK is spearheading this with Prime Minister Keir Starmer. About 24 countries are from Europe, including France and Germany, several notably from Asia Pacific. About 80% of the oil that comes out of Hormuz goes to Asia.
The president's promise to finish the job hardly built confidence with a jittery market as oil prices surged. Asian stocks fell on his vow to continue hitting Iran very hard. Democrats say Trump's war is destabilizing the world. Attorney General Pam Bondi may be on her way out.
Sources tell CBS News President Trump is seriously considering replacing Bondi, citing dissatisfaction with how aggressively the Justice Department has pursued some of his priorities. Bondi has led several criminal investigations into the president's perceived political opponents, but most have been unsuccessful. When asked for a comment about a possible ouster, the president responded, "Attorney General Pam Bondi is a wonderful person and she is doing a good job." Trump met this week with Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator and possible Bondi replacement. Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
E-bikes were a popular gift this past Christmas, and Lake St. Louis Assistant Chief of Police Joshua Gilliam wants parents to understand there are certain state and local regulations, and some factors that differentiate one bike from another, like top speed, make it hard to tell one from another.
Impossible. The way that the law is written, it's really virtually impossible to know that. I can't look at a vehicle from the outside and know if it's what horsepower it has.
He says while they haven't had any major issues with the bikes, it feels like only a matter of time until one is involved in a wreck with a motor vehicle. The statewide teacher vacancy rate in Illinois decreased by 24% this school year from the year before, according to new data from the Illinois State Board of Education. However, the board says significant needs still remain in specific specialties, especially special education, which makes up roughly 1/3 of the statewide teaching vacancies. From the KMOX Business Desk, one of Missouri's biggest and most prominent companies is joining the wave of businesses wanting a refund from President Trump's tariffs. Springfield-based Bass Pro Shops filing a lawsuit in the U.S. Court of International Trade, seeking a full refund of all duties it paid along with interest. Bass Pro's suit is one of thousands filed in recent weeks since the Supreme Court ruled the International Emergency Economic Powers Act did not authorize President Trump to impose those tariffs. The High Court did not, though, establish a specific refund mechanism. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Showers around for this afternoon, even heavy thunderstorms that can produce hail and damaging winds. It'll be windy and much warmer, high 78. Another shower or thunderstorm, low 62 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Windy, cloudy, and 71 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Amy will never understand because she's got this look on her face like, what? Why are you guys reacting to this music? And I don't want to do the thing where we explain to you why we're playing.
The reason why we're playing the song.
But you have such a confounded look.
Well, you guys did the thing where right when we go on and I'm going to talk, you give each other knowing glances.
Yeah.
And then you smile slyly.
Well, Pajeski just came through big time.
The song's called Amy is the Worst. We love the song.
It's a U2 song. It is called Amy Sucks So Hard. Why is she in my face?
Wait, what's the name of it?
The song, Amy, is called 11 O'Clock TikTok.
Oh, I thought it really was called Amy is the Worst.
You're so...
I was like, why have you not played this song before? I'm surprised.
You're the dumbest smart guy I know.
I know. Thank you.
So
thank you.
It's 11 o'clock. Aww. It's 11:05.
That's why we're playing this song.
So why the reason we're playing this song?
Anyway.
But that's the nice little Easter egg that Pajeski threw in there that I would hope. How many people you think would have gotten that?
Nobody.
I know one person who would have.
That's a deep cut for you two.
I know two people who would have gotten it for sure. One, Michael Kelly.
He would have gotten it.
And two, Chris Myhill, who was the former executive producer of the Charlie Brennan Show, who was the king of the deep cut, because you never brought it up. You had to know they were Easter eggs.
Yep.
But even if it were maybe a guest where there was one prominent line in a song that somehow related to what the guest was talking about, he would play it. I mean, half the time I didn't get it, but we would have listeners who they got it. They understood.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to
not talk
find
about
it. And just let the 10 people who get it go, oh, that's really good. Yeah. Well done. But you had this look on your face like, what is going on? Why am I in trouble?
But notice I didn't say anything because if you guys were going to do something, I wasn't going to make bad radio.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I just followed along.
11 o'clock TikTok. Great song.
We don't want bad radio.
Just a little bit of.
We don't want worse radio.
If you would like some U2 trivia, 11 o'clock TikTok, one of their first songs. When they were playing live, they didn't have a whole catalog. They only had a few songs, so they would have to play that one twice. So they'd start and play it at the beginning, then they had to play it at the end because they just didn't have enough material yet.
That's pretty fun. That's why sometimes we repeat ourselves.
That's right.
Okay. All seriousness here. We were talking a lot about the street takeovers, several weeks ago. And as Ranj brought up, they do happen in Chicago and they happen everywhere. And they're really difficult to corral. So Chicago recently had a really bad one where hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of teams. There are so many. They outnumber cops. They outnumber tourists. They outnumber normal people who are just trying to live their lives. And they create chaos. And then a couple of days ago, too, there was a mall takeover in Wisconsin, and 13 people were arrested as fights broke out in the mall. But it was at Bayshore Mall in Glendale on Sunday, and hundreds of masked and hooded teens just ran into the mall and took over, knowing if we've got numbers, we can get away with this, which is really terrifying. And there was an op-ed in the Chicago Tribune a few days ago from Jamal Green. Honestly, I'm not super familiar with who he is. You said he ran for mayor at one point in Chicago.
Yeah, he tried to in 2019, and then he ran again in 23.
So, but he did have this op-ed piece a few days ago in the Chicago Tribune, and he said, "Don't surrender Chicago to teen takeover chaos." And he talks about the teen takeovers downtown and how they're not harmless get-togethers. They're organized disruptions. They're planned online. They're carried out in large groups. And he said they are allowed to spiral out of control because the city has been too slow and too hesitant to respond. He said this needs to change. He also said, here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you don't control your public spaces, you lose your city. And he talks about how downtown Chicago is not just another neighborhood. It's their front door. It's where the economy thrives. It's where visitors get first impressions and small businesses either survive or close down. And when the downtown feels unsafe, he said the damage doesn't stay there. It spreads across the entire city. And a lot of that we can apply to St. Louis, right? If a certain downtown doesn't feel safe, it's going to spread to other parts of the city, other neighborhoods that are technically in the city. Like if downtown crime happens, that hurts Soulard. That hurts the Central West End. It hurts, and it keeps spreading out until eventually it hurts all of, the St. Louis area.
Yeah. So, you can't be, as I said earlier, you can't be in Chesterfield or in St. Charles or Wentzville, and maybe Wentzville. But you can't be in these places that are suburbs of St. Louis and say, well, not my problem. I live out here. I mean, yeah, you can go about your daily life, but if you care about the region at all, what happens downtown matters to everybody.
Yeah. And he said he thinks they need to take a stricter, more deliberate approach to stopping these street takeovers. He said it's not about being anti-youth. It's about being pro-Chicago. He said he's worked years with young people, and he understands what drives some of it: boredom, lack of options, the influence of social media. But you can't turn downtown into a viral moment at everyone else's expense. So he mentioned several steps. What can the city do? One is stop the chaos before it starts. Every city should actively monitor social media for planned mass gatherings and coordinate with schools, parents, and community leaders when something is brewing. He said these don't come out of nowhere. They're form
planned.
quickly, but they're online. And if you can get schools and community leaders and parents aware of that, that can help. He also said, and tell me what you think about this, he said lock down key downtown areas when needed. Millennium Park, the Riverwalk, Michigan Avenue, they're not open for takeovers. So have strategic curfews, CTA coordination, and visible presence at key entry points.
That would take knowing ahead of time where they're going to go. And I know he's saying monitor social media channels.
And this would be a focus on key downtown areas like Millennium Park. Like maybe you don't know, but you're going to keep an eye on Millennium Park.
And I don't know how this works exactly, how intelligence works when it comes to this. And I mean, intelligence in the way that we do counterterrorism. It's not the same thing, but in the same way where we hear of something that's about to happen ahead of time. I mean, I guess, are you relying on snitches? Are you relying on other kids who are like, hey, through the channels that we are using that adults don't know about, here's what we're hearing. Here's what's about to happen. I mean, is that what they do?
I don't know. I mean, I know, right? We know the FBI, and I know this is getting the FBI involved, but the FBI can monitor all sorts of channels. So I don't know if law enforcement has access, like you said, whether it's a plant or relying on
That's
other
how they
kids.
find out about a lot of, I mean, again, I mentioned counterterrorism, not the same thing, but that is how they find out if there's a plot brewing.
Yes.
Is that they know somebody who knows somebody and they get
I would
in on the inside.
Tell leaders, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And he also, this is kind of interesting, dedicated rapid response teams. So you would have a portion of your police force, or if it's police force plus, I don't know who else might be able to help the police, but you have a rapid response team. So as soon as the crowds start forming, you're dedicated to breaking that up. He also brought up something that the St. Louis police mentioned heavily, which was bringing parents into the equation. If your child is downtown in the middle of the night causing trouble, there are going to be consequences.
So like those kids who got arrested, and I don't think they were all under 18, but from a couple of weeks ago, all the parents came to pick them up, right? It was the takeover the weekend prior to the NCAA tournament.
Yes. So they bring them to a holding area. They're not arrested. They're not in
Right.
jail.
Right,
They're
right,
literally in a parent meeting area where they have snacks. And importantly, they also have like social workers and counselors and family advisors who can talk to the kids and talk to the parents and give them some resources to not let this happen again. And basically, and those are some of the steps, very practical. He said Chicago can't afford leaders who are afraid to enforce basic order. When a city looks out of control, it doesn't just hurt their reputation, it hurts our people. And so there you go.
Right. And it's got to be about the city too. And I realize that some of the people who take part in these takeovers, maybe their surroundings aren't great. Some of them I'm sure are doing just fine, but some are not. And that's what leads to things like this, or in part leads to things like this. But you can't, you can't have this at the expense of the city, because if the city declines, then everybody suffers from it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. No.
So there's just
for
further
sure.
suffering. So it's not going to help.
Yeah. I mean, he talks about, people stop going to restaurants. They don't go to businesses and places fail. I will say quickly, I know we've brought this up for years, but the book Bleeding Out by Thomas Abt.
We've had him on.
Yep. He's been on a lot.
He's
Was
very
on with
good.
Charlie Brennan. And he was working with the crime prevention here in St. Louis. Such a great practical nonpartisan take on crime in cities, talking about how when you really look at the crime, it is actually a very, very small percentage of people doing the most damage. So you want to focus on those people, their hot spots or hot people. And he does the carrot and the stick, where you have to have consequences in law enforcement, but you also want to have resources and let people know, okay, hey, we see you, you're in a bad spot. We're going to help you to get out of this bad spot.
Yeah.
However, if you break the law, there's going to be consequences. And it's just a really good balanced take.
Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji on KMOX. We have a pair of tickets, as we've told you. We gave you warning earlier in the show that we have a pair of tickets to give away to see comedian Tom Papa at the Factory. He is going to be there on September 26th, and that is thanks to Live Nation, who provided those seats. And it is time to give those away right now.
Wow.
We need caller number
5
to the contest line at 314-955-1120. 314-955-1120. If you are caller number 5, you're going to win those ducats. Good luck to you. We're still on hold to talk to Spencer Rowland, Battlehawks offensive lineman, who also happens to be a rocket scientist. And after the Artemis 2 launch yesterday, great time to talk to the Battlehawks lineman. We'll do that at 11:30 on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. I'm joined by my friend and St. Louis real estate expert, Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria, everyone knows you for your guaranteed sold program, but you also help your sellers get multiple cash offers, right?
That's right. Some sellers are looking for speed, certainty, and to avoid repairs and open houses. I just helped a family in December to sell their parents' estate. They chose me because I offered 4 cash offers at our first meeting, which gave them options picking the best cash offer. Whether it's multiple cash offers or my guaranteed sold program, my sellers are always in control to sell fast and for the most money. It's my guarantees and my buyers in waiting program that set me apart from other realtors.
If you're ready to make your move without the hassles, guaranteed, call Gloria Lou right now at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Staples presents That Was Easy. So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures. Everything and then some. I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus. One money pit with a side of fries. But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders. $125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples. That was easy. Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler for FanDuel Sportsbook, which is the official sportsbook of KMOX. And look, all of us here are baseball fans. So baseball fans, pay attention. FanDuel's giving you a chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. So joining the action's really easy. You sign up, you have your account. You just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winning. So just another reason why FanDuel's the home of home runs. I had a couple of calls here in the past. In fact, in the Yankees opener, I had a bet for Giancarlo Stanton to hit a home run. I didn't get it, but it was free, and I'm going to come back and do this every single day because it's right there for you to have some extra fun. So just head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to opt in for Daily Dingers, and you make your free pick on who's going to hit a home run. FanDuel is an official partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount, and you can see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Gas House Gang is at 12. Bernie Miklas will be with me. We'll talk to Will Leach at 12:30. We're going to talk a lot of Cardinals baseball today for sure. And before this show starts at 9 a.m. every weekday, we're on from 9 until noon, in case you didn't know. Oh, by the way, sorry. Brian from St. Charles won the tickets for Tom Papa.
Nice work,
Congrats, Brian. We still do have one more pair of tickets to give away. That'll be tomorrow. Every day, there is a wonderful news program called Total Information AM.
I love that program.
Very
I
good.
listen every day.
Total Information AM is on this station. You'll hear the likes of Debbie and Tom and Megan Lynch, who yesterday, I was told, spoke to the mayor of Granite City, Mike Parkinson. We've had Mayor about the mill, the data centers, all kinds of stuff. Because Granite City, as far as I'm concerned, is the center of the universe. Mayor Parkinson, I am told, took a shot yesterday morning at the end of the interview with Megan Lynch.
Mayor, thanks so much for spending time with us this morning here on KMOX.
You know, Megan, it's always nice to spend time with somebody other than Chris Ranji.
What the hell?
What? The mayor? You
What
weren't
in
even
the
there
hell?
to defend yourself.
How awful.
I like him. Vote for him.
I got to tell you, you know what I'm feeling like right now?
What's that?
I'm feeling a little bit like Donald Trump felt back at that correspondence dinner in 2011.
What?
I am. You remember when Roger Stone, a former associate, or I guess is he still an associate of the president? And Michael Cohen, who was an associate of the president, both said that when Barack Obama made fun of President Trump
Mhm.
in 2011 at that dinner for about 2 minutes, that was fuel for him to eventually run for president.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what those guys have said in interviews.
So
And
wait a
I have to
minute.
tell you, I'm thinking about running for mayor.
You're going to go up against.
I think I'm going to run for mayor of Granite City. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to run for mayor just out of spite.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is the mayor running again?
I don't know, but
So now you're going up against him.
and now I have to figure out what all of his positions are on everything,
Yeah.
and I have to take the opposite view. Yeah, that's right.
What if that puts you in an uncomfortable position ideologically?
Well, spite is a powerful drug.
It certainly is.
Sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Is Ranj wearing a MAGA hat?
Well, whatever it takes,
Whatever
baby.
it takes. Wow.
It's my career, my political career now. That is the only thing that matters. So I have to do whatever I have to do. I have to be like those prospective federal judges
Yeah.
that were having their hearing last week and absolutely refused to say who won the 2020 election. And they had this canned answer. I'm going to go with canned answers. Whatever I have to do to win. That's it.
All right. Well, Mayor Parkinson, if you're listening, you can absolutely text in because Robert now is accusing you, Ranj, of wanting to shut down the mill.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because
Okay.
you're taking all opposite views.
Robert watching the
So-
show on YouTube.
Now Ranj's whole platform is shutting down the Granite City's steel mill.
No, I'm not.
Ranj.
No. Okay.
Robert makes a great point.
Okay. I will hold the opposite position of Mayor Parkinson on every issue except for closing down the mill.
You know what it is? Just culture war issues.
Yes, just culture war stuff.
Yeah.
I need to find out what he thinks about abortion real quick.
Oh my gosh. Don't
So let me
joke like that.
let me
Okay.
find out.
Well, anyway,
there is a clinic in Granite City,
That's true.
so
All
I have
right.
to find out.
This is terrifying.
That I'm running for mayor?
No, I was going to tell us a different story.
Oh, okay, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
didn't know if you still wanted to talk
No,
about
no,
running
go
for mayor.
ahead.
So it's terrifying. It's tragic. It's sinister. It's grotesque. But a lot of people climbing Mount Everest, and it's a dream. A lot of people, relatively speaking, but there is a new 32 people were just charged with organized crime and fraud charges related to a plot that was harming tourists. Now, let me be clear. This plot involved company owners, helicopter operators, hospital executives. What was the plot? Mount Everest guides were secretly lacing tourists' food. They were poisoning tourists' food to trigger food poisoning, like giving them food poisoning so that they would have to enact expensive helicopter rescues. It was a $20 million insurance scam. So these people, and say what you want about Everest or people who climb Everest, but these are people who have gone to Everest, who have paid an enormous amount of money and have trained to climb Everest. And you hear of them getting food poisoning, which makes sense. You're in Nepal. There's water, food issues that maybe you're not used to if you're from the US or you're from Europe. People get food poisoning when they travel. It happens. But this was happening repeatedly. And so finally, the scam was exposed that they were poisoning these climbers so that the sicknesses they got that either mimicked altitude sickness or food poisoning. And then the guides would say, we need to call in this helicopter rescue. The helicopter rescue would take them straight to a hospital. And they say, you need to stay at this hospital. And then at the end of the day, after all these insurance claims were paid out, the guides, the helicopter companies, the trekking agencies, and the hospitals all split the money. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars here. And also, I can't think of anything worse than getting food poisoning at 18,000 feet or 20,000 feet of elevation.
That's why you just don't go there. Nobody's making you go climb Everest.
But that's horrible.
Yeah.
They are completely abusing trust. And apparently this
and they
is
almost
not
got
unusual.
away with it. And they would have if it weren't for these meddling
You
kids.
are the worst human, and I don't know why I have a show with you. I don't know why Steve did this. I hope you lose in that election by a lot.
Well, a texter says, many texters have chimed in about my candidacy for mayor of Granite City.
Okay.
This one says, Mayor Chris, come on down to Chris's Loser Lounge. That's the bar that I have with all the people that I hang out with who are worse than me to make myself feel better.
That's where you're going to have your election night party. You know how they all sit there and they watch the results come in?
Yes.
And slowly everyone will leave the loser lounge as they realize you're not going to win.
This text from a 618 says, I'll be your campaign manager. Vote for Ranji, doofus.
That's funny.
So actually, I will threaten the electorate if they don't vote for me.
Lastly, Chris, a 636 says, Chris, be careful during your campaign. They will bring up your estranged wife and kids.
Hey, man, it's 2026. I can have estranged families if I want. Hey, it's all okay.
Are we almost done with this show?
No, about a half hour.
Oh my gosh.
Where do you have to go?
Away from here. I'm feeling a little icky.
I need to
You're
tell you.
You're giving me the ick.
Speaking of ick, I need to tell you about, we were talking about April Fool's jokes. There was one yesterday that I'm kind of pissed about. And I'll tell you about it before the show is over. This occurred yesterday, and I'll tell you all about it after we talk to Spencer Rowland, Battlehawks offensive lineman and rocket scientist. We'll talk to him about the Battlehawks season and the Artemis II launch yesterday. It's on the way to the moon right now. Spencer Rowland next on KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
72 degrees, windy and warm. Could be a thunderstorm later in the day that could bring hail and damaging winds. A high of 76 tonight, warm with thunderstorms in parts of the area. A low of 63. Weather sponsored by i3 Broadband. Spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, we're springing forward with our longest price guarantees ever on gig speed internet service. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Battlehawks season is underway, and what a fun opening weekend it was. Last weekend, they got their victory to open the season, and we are now joined by Spencer Rowland, a Battlehawks offensive lineman, who joins us now on KMOX. And Spencer also happens to be a literal rocket scientist, which is very, very cool. Went to Harvard with a degree in mechanical engineering and astrophysics. And Spencer is with us on KMOX. How's it going, Spencer?
Great. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
We're doing okay. And we were talking about you yesterday in the office. And I was thinking about Robert Smith, who was also a doctor, you know, the Vikings running back, I believe. And I thought, well, I don't think I've ever heard of a mechanical engineer and astrophysicist who happens to be a football player too.
No, you don't see that very often, do you?
No, not at all. So before we get to the actual football, how about the rocket launch yesterday where you must have been, that's kind of like a Super Bowl to a football player who also likes Super Bowls?
It was. No, I had it on ready to go. I think turned it on like an hour beforehand and watched him count down and do all the checks of, you know, the engine and the rocket. And so I live with two other O-line guys, and like throughout the week, I'm like, 3 days until like liftoff, you know, and they're like, what? Like, what's going on? And so had to teach them a little bit of what was going on in Artemis mission and all that. So it was a good experience for everybody.
That's awesome. When you were growing up, were you that kid who was always, you know, playing with model rockets or engines? Like, could you see this early on that this was something you loved?
Yeah, so for me, it was just more the love of space and just growing up in Minnesota, I was always looking up at the night sky and looking at constellations and the moon landing back in the 70s. You know, I was always, you know, awed by that. And so I think it was more of those acts than, you know, actually just like playing around with like, you know, model rockets and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So were you having a difficult time convincing your teammates that this was a huge deal?
No, I think they understood how big of a deal it is. And, you know, I think they said in the next like 2 years, we're going to try to land back on the moon. And so that's going to be a fun event to see that as well. But I think they grasped, you know, how big this event was and having a manned rocket launch, you know, the first one in 50 years to go back to the moon. So, you know, it was a special event.
How have you liked St. Louis and seen the support that St. Louis fans have for the Battlehawks?
Oh, the fans were amazing. Our first game, I was able to get there early and actually did an event at the hospital with a few of my teammates, Tyler and AJ and Travis Feeney. And so going there, seeing the support that we had at the hospitals with the patients. And then after that, I was able to go to the Hill and have some great Italian cuisine. So, you know, I got a full experience in the short amount of time I was there, but the fans on game day experience were amazing. I think we got the best fans in the UFL by far. So I'm excited to get back there and win another game.
Yeah, so we talk about that with pretty much every player who comes on, that the experience of being a Battlehawks player in this league, in this city, is unlike some of the other markets. And I don't know if you talk to players on other teams, but do they say the same sort of thing?
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, with the UFL, we're all, in the same headquarters, seeing each other, walk by each other. And, we have teammates on other teams as well. And so I think that's definitely a big point. It's like when you come and play St. Louis in the Dome, like it's going to be a good crowd. It's going to be a good atmosphere. And if you're an opponent, it's going to be a hard time, hearing the fans and trying to get your plays out. But, as a Battlehawk, I think it's our advantage. And I think it definitely helped us in our game, our first week there.
How is the vibe in each of the different stadiums? Because, and I'm talking about through your career, because you played football at Harvard, at Ivy League. Then you played at UNC. Now you're playing here in St. Louis in the Dome, where the greatest show on turf played. How does each scenario feel different to you? Or are you so focused it doesn't feel that different?
Yeah, I mean, I think, each stadium and each team has, their unique experiences, at Harvard and UNC, and then just, traveling around to those stadiums in the Ivy League and the ACC. I think each stadium, each fan base kind of brings their own unique experience. But, what I loved in St. Louis is, you also had the Cardinals have an opening weekend, and I thought we still had a great crowd. And so I love that dedication that the St. Louis fans brought. And I was able to sign some jerseys and some posters after the game, and just the dedication that our fans have for this team, I think it's unlike anything else out there. So I think that's what makes the St. Louis Battlehawks fans unique.
So, I mean, as Amy said, you've had you have experience with collegiate football, Division I, playing at Harvard and UNC, and then you spent a little bit of time on a practice squad for the Packers too, right?
I did.
Can you explain how difficult it is to even just make a practice squad? Because I don't think people really quite understand how difficult it is to even sniff the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, with NFL rosters, they've got a 53-man roster, but then they have an additional 16 spots for practice squad. So in total, you got less than 70 spots per roster. And so if you're able to get one of those, coveted practice spots, that's a big accomplishment because there's only those 70 guys on the roster. And so my time spent at Green Bay, I felt like I was able to learn quite a bit about, the ins and outs of what happens going on in season during an NFL team. And I think that experience has really helped me both, here in the Battlehawks and hopefully, in the future. But, if you can make one of those spots, practice spots, you gotta hold on to that and possibly have an opportunity to play, because with football you never know when an injury is going to happen. And so that's I think the biggest thing I learned is injury happens, and you can be the one that's stepping up, or they might bring somebody in and you might be the one out the door. And so it's a very cutthroat type of league as well. And so that's what happened with me is we had an injury on O-line. They brought somebody in, and unfortunately, I was the one that got the short end of the stick, but that's the business of football.
Is it difficult when you're in that kind of limbo situation where you don't know if you're going to play an NFL game or it's a practice squad or what your future will be? Is it difficult to stay motivated or no?
I don't think so. I mean, I always had a saying, it's always be prepared so you don't have to get prepared. And so, as much as you can be prepared for that opportunity, it's, you put that work in and day out. And when your time comes, you're ready to, take that call and be ready to go. So I think when you have that type of mindset, that stress and all that kind of anxiety goes away.
So you grew up near the Twin Cities in Minnesota, correct? So
correct.
When you're during your recruiting phase in high school, did you have any thought that you wanted to stay around home, or did you know you were going to go to Harvard? What did you feel like you would have done?
Yeah, so I've always been an opportunistic type of guy. Whatever comes to my door, I'll take a look at it and see what happens. And so in high school, I played football, basketball, baseball. I did track and field for a little bit, but I was really looking at like basketball and football for college. And so basketball was getting a bunch of like kind of D3, local D3, D2 schools, and football was getting more D1 schools, and of course all the other D2 and D3 schools. And so when the opportunity came that I got a letter from Harvard football, I was like, oh, like this could be interesting. I've never thought to like go to Harvard. My brother, he's 4 years older than me, and he went to a pretty prestigious school, Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota. And so that was kind of like my backup plan. Like, oh, if nothing else works, I'll probably just go there, focus on academics in school, and then still play football and basketball. But when the Ivy League started rolling in and a few other schools started rolling in, I'm like, okay, like maybe this could be something. And so then I took a trip out east, went to a few Ivy League schools, went to their camps, and officially got offers from them. And that was kind of at the point where I'm like, okay, this is probably where I'll be ending up.
I love the idea that you're just like, well, if this football thing doesn't work out, I guess I'll just be an astrophysicist.
Yeah, guess I'll be a rocket scientist.
I'll fall back
Exactly.
on rocket science.
I mean, football doesn't last for forever. You
Yeah.
got to do something after football's done.
That's right.
Well, usually people go sell insurance. You're gonna work on rockets.
Yeah. What do you want to do with your degree?
I don't know quite yet. Like I said, I'm a very kind of opportunistic type of guy. So like if things pop up, like I've had a few friends from Harvard reach out to me and interested in doing a startup company. And so with my MBA from Keenan Flagler in UNC, I'm like, yeah, I'll help you guys out with that. And so we've been working on that on the side. I'd love to go back and work with NASA as well. Do some type of like internship there that maybe leads to a job working on satellites or, their moon base that they're trying to build. I think they said they're trying to put $20 billion into a moon base. So they're going to need people for that. So, whatever kind of comes my way, but, I've blessed myself with opportunities where I could, go in whichever direction. But, right now my mindset's been football, focusing on football. And I've always said, I'll cross that bridge once I get there. But, right now I'm just looking forward to next week, playing Dallas on Tuesday. And that's kind of the mindset I have, week in and week out.
Yeah, Tuesday night football game against Dallas. That will be on the road. Yep. First road game for the Battlehawks. And we know you're looking forward to it. And we are looking forward to watching, Roland. And here's my expectation, all of our expectation. You have to make sure that at the end of the season, get to the championship game to come back here in St. Louis and play.
For sure. Yeah, that's our goal.
And Roland, I will say, forget Travis and Jason Kelsey. You could do a podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That would be a great one to have.
I know. I listen to his podcast all the time. So if you guys are looking for something to listen to, I think it's like Star Talk podcast or something, but he's a good podcaster.
Spencer Roland, who at one time was a project intern for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, is now playing for the Battlehawks and is with us on KMOX. Hey, good luck to you, Spencer. We're really looking forward to Tuesday night.
Appreciate you guys. No, I'm looking forward to it as well.
Spencer Roland, Battlehawks offensive lineman, and yes, he is technically an astrophysicist, which is very, very cool stuff. Super cool. I love it, man. Love the Battlehawks season is here. I missed the whole Saturday like trifecta. Had Cardinals, Blues, Battlehawks.
Missed everything.
I know, all on the same day. I love when those days happen here. And City didn't play, but those are the really cool games, cool days. Those Saturdays when all four teams are playing. That is an awesome time in St. Louis. I got to tell you what my pet peeve is. Not a pet peeve. I'm actually quite peeved. I'm majorly peeved.
Well, Spencer might be peeved that we called him Roland. You called him Roland. And that's why I said
his last name's Roland.
I know, but what's up? I'm not on a last name basis with him yet.
Oh. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett. I'm a board-certified master arborist, and I've been caring for St. Louis trees for over 25 years. Today, I'm going to help you choose a tree care contractor. Here's how it's done, so pay close attention. First, call everyone you know who has ever done any type of outdoor work, including that cousin that used to sleep on your couch. Leave them all messages and wait around to see if they call back. Here's a hint, they won't. Now, post to all your social media that you are looking for recommendations for a good tree service. Now, beware because there will be hundreds of different recommendations. So you need to carefully go through each one, checking that they have the proper insurance, background checks, and even the slightest idea of what they're doing. Schedule a bunch of appointments, and when nobody shows up, get really frustrated and put the whole project off for another year. Or you could just call Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Okay, I have some really good news. While we do have the 0% a lot, we do have it on our regular products because you will be unbelievably shocked, especially if you call me and I'll give you the straight up scoop on how much money you can actually save by if you spent $20,000 versus $10,000 on a system. The difference could be as little as, I don't know, let's just say, not to exaggerate, 5 cents. So be careful out there, and always remember your energy savings is based on your house. It is not based on the equipment. So common sense advice and help and guidance. Again, call me Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest, 314-293-2600. Again, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, that is bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spamalot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at kmox.com/events.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Glover here from my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities, Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Gas House Gang is coming up at 12 o'clock. Bernie Miklasz and me, Chris Ranji. Until then, it's the Chris and Amy Show. We invite your voice messages directly on the Odyssey app. Mitchell left us one.
But on topic of the Chris and Amy Show this morning, of the talk of St. Louis City, I can definitely vouch for what I believe is the Mets was talking about. There's not a whole lot redeeming about St. Louis City besides the sports stadiums. I had the chance to go down to the Cardinals opening day, and of course the Cardinals stadium is really well employed, and that they've got that running really good. But then you go out to your car, and then you're stuck in traffic for an hour, and there's nobody directing traffic. There's no life in the city going on. The only traffic downtown is people leaving the sports games, not people going downtown. But then additionally, other than the sports stadiums, there's not a whole lot downtown to even do to begin with that you can't do in West County. So that's what I believe. There's definitely an issue in St. Louis City because there's nothing to do, and there's no safety down there either. Thank you.
So that's Mitchell, and this was in response to Gary Cohen and the Mets broadcast, the New York Mets broadcast on TV yesterday, talking about how dead downtown St. Louis is, which is unusual for a visiting broadcast team. They might privately say to each other, man, this city, there's nothing going on. But usually when they get on the broadcast, they're at least, I don't know, more diplomatic about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty harsh to hear.
And they're not necessarily wrong.
No, that's the thing, is that they're not wrong. Like I said, I mean, I don't see anyone on the street right now, and it's lunchtime downtown.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong, but it is harsh to hear. And I don't want to say it's not their place to say, but it felt a little, to use the cliched phrase, punching down. You're New York. Yeah. You're New York, and you're punching down on St. Louis.
Well,
that's how it felt. I mean, he said it felt like a neutron bomb went off and blew up all the people.
But it to me, it was, it must have been extremely affecting to them where they noticed it so much. We're like, man, it's dead here.
But remember, he did say every time. This is how it is every time. Yeah. So it wasn't new to them, which also maybe feels that makes it feel like their commentary was extra unnecessary because they didn't say it because they were shocked. They said it because it's always that way.
So this is the thing I got to bring up, because yesterday was April Fool's Day and I hate it. It's such a dumb day. And it's like now with artificial intelligence, anytime I see a video, I have to assume it's fake. First, I assume it's fake and then I check on it. But every single post or anything you hear on April 1st, you have to check on it first. You know, you have to go, is this real? Is this not? So one of the reasons I hate April Fools is because of really dumb and cruel pranks. I don't mind pranks, but I hate the dumb and cruel ones. Yesterday at the Washington Wizards game, and this was, I believe, during a timeout, you know how they'll have fans come on the court and do some sort of, layup, 3-point, free throw contest or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they blindfolded a fan, brought him to center court, and then told him that if he shot a half court shot and made it blindfolded, he won $10,000. So they put the blindfold on. He goes to throw the ball up. He does it. Everybody reacts like, oh my God, you did it. You won $10,000. The only thing is he missed the shot badly. It didn't go in. So they take the blindfold off. They give him the big check. And they say, wow, congratulations. You just won 10 grand. And he's excited. He's like, oh my God, I just won $10,000. And then they show him the video on the big screen. And he did not make it. He missed very badly. And the host on the court was like, I really hate April Fools. I'm sorry to do this to you. Dude,
that's not even funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's just cruel. It's stupid. And I hope the Wizards never win another game ever. I hope the whole organization, I hope the building falls down.
Do you think there's any chance the guy was in on it? Like when Louis will slam a pie into somebody's face? Yeah, and they right. I hope he was in on it, because that's not funny.
I hope so. But nobody after the fact has said, no, he was in on the joke. He knew about it. Because if you tell somebody they won $10,000 and then pull it away from them, you can go straight to hell.
Because that could also mean a lot to him. You don't know what he's going through.
That's exactly right.
That's serious.
Yes, maybe he's got a medical thing and he's like, oh my God, this can help me out in a big way. Well, They say they gave him a signed jersey after the fact.
Oh my gosh.
And
no.
courtside seats to a game next year. Take that and
They've
stick it up
won
your butt.
17 games.
Screw them. April Fool's is stupid.
I hope he was in on it. Let's just say he was in
I don't.
on
If
it.
they gave him a signed jersey, no. They gave him no. Screw that. What a terrible joke. Hey, tomorrow we'll be back at 9 a.m. Chris and Amy show. Anything you missed, go catch the podcast. We got a great podcast, the interviews, full segments, full show, all of it available wherever you get your podcast or on the free Odyssey app. Bernie Miklasz is next on the Gas House Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, it's been a while since I've fallen into a toilet.
Time now for today's Spotlight